me. It was like, we can't get the stream key. We can't get the stream key. Y'all can get the stream key. Y'all can get the stream key. Good gosh. Liars. Liars is what they are. Liars. Let's talk about AI color themes. Bro, I'm trying to listen to Undertale. Is Undertale copyrighted? Hold on. Is Undertale copyrighted? No! Turn it off! How did I go that long without realizing? Chat, we didn't know. Chat, we didn't know. Mercy, Twitch. Mercy. Mercy. Yeah, that's not gonna end well if they catch that enough. You guys will notice, we don't have a light over here. My parents have officially stolen my ring light for their eBay reselling business. They're like, this is mine now. That was pretty much them. They saw it one day and they were like, oh, this is lovely. So sometimes I'll have it and sometimes I won't. However, we're doing something fun, okay? This is totally, oh, smell that. Smell that, chat. Have you ever smelled vegan chocolate powder so good before? No, you fucking haven't, because I mean, no, you freaking haven't, because I know only I cannot eat dairy here. By the way, my freaking, okay, I'm peeved about this. I'm peeved about this, chat. Freaking, I go to the allergist and I'm like, hey, I think I have a dairy allergy. Can y'all check me out? I tell them my symptoms. They don't even test me. They're like, hey, we really think it's an intolerance, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, gang, but, like, you know, my mouth itching and my lips swell, you know, shit like that. And they're like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Not an allergy. Well, guess the hell what? I take dairy out of my diet for about 1 to 2 weeks. Guess who's almost dying, cannot breathe, cannot breath. That's me. That's me, okay? Me. Don't steal my illness. Only I'm allowed to be allergic to dairy, guys. It's like people who gatekeep mental illness. I'm sorry, that's so random. But anyways, we're celebrating, okay? We're celebrating that we actually know that we should have an EpiPen. We have one. It's expired. Nobody knows where it is, but it's in the house somewhere. So you know what? If I die, not from this. This is no milk. It has milk in it. If we die from any type of dairy, which by the way, butter is dairy. I know some people don't know that, but butter is dairy. Okay, let's clear that up. Like right now, butter is dairy. Okay, guys. Let's pour a toast. Let's pour a toast of the rest of my protein shake. It has chia seeds in it because I was like, ooh, free protein. It's horrible. It's honestly kind of disgusting. I don't think I like chia seeds. I was drinking it and I was like, bro, what are these little, like, you know, the little crusties? Okay, actually, maybe I shouldn't go there. Never mind. But in this, there's chia seeds. I know it's... I'm good. I can't have dairy. But freaking, this is chia seeds in it. So take a look. Take a look. I know my... What is this? 720 pixel camera can't really pick them up. But there's like little black pixels in there, and those are the chia seeds, chat, if you can see them. They're a little hard to see. It kind of looks like I have little bugs in my drink. It's kind of disturbing. It looks like egg whites when you mix it in with something. It's a chat. Oh, we're taking off the blanket, even though it's like really freaking cold. It's like insanely cold in here. Alright, we're not gonna get this vaccine they're talking about. Chat. I would like to propose a toast. I would like to propose a toast to everybody here. For your well-being and your health, and you know, your crops being nice and well cultivated by the fall, because it's like spring or something. Girl, I don't know. For everybody in the southern hemisphere about to enter, it's not spring, it's fall. My bad. Anyways, all you gotta do, get a glass of something. And this is for all my folks who don't drink water. Me, for real. Get yourself a glass of water and toast me, okay? Clink. And I'll do a little ASMR. Excuse me. That was the best part of the ASMR, by the way. That was my favorite. Damn, GSCs are disgusting, dude. Oh, they're nasty. Like, really, really, really nasty. Oh, I hate GSCs. Don't ask me where the Jennifer Coolidge came from. Jennifer Coolidge. This is why my mother enrolls me to see my therapist bi-weekly, by the way. I have one of those... Chat, do you know one of those things that's like a... It's like a thing that, like... it's like a sore in your mouth or something. I have one, like, right on my lip. I'm not gonna show you guys, because that would be freaking weird. Like, who are you, my orthodontist? I haven't scheduled an appointment with my orthodontist in months. I really need to get on that. Oh, I'm so cooked. Oh, I'm so cooked. Oh, man. I'm gonna see how fast it takes for people to enter my chat after I change this stream name. This is against the TOS! This is against the TOS! Ah! Ah! Like, literally so much. Literally so much. Hello, I am Ravens. How are you doing today? How you doing today? Bro's already got a Rizzler in my chat. Hello, how are you doing? How are you doing? We have my protein shake in a wine glass for us today. Somebody just closed the door to my house and it was really loud, bro. What the hell? You know, I'm kind of convinced somebody could just break into anybody's house if they really gave it a try. I think one of these streams we should give that a try. You know? That's why people play Bloxburg. They become the robbers, like, later in life, you know? Just relax after finishing my client project. Ooh, client project. Now that sounds like something. That sounds like something interesting. If you would elaborate, I'm very curious.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom. That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
I'm very curious because I'm an architecture student. I have a client project as well. I'm currently working on.
We can be twinsies.
Oh, look at my biggie family talking about milkshakes on my phone. All of them are big. My bad. That was kind of aggressive. I should be more. My therapist says I should be more kind to people. Actually, she really says I should just eat more food, but I mean, I've got a protein shake on stream, and I've also got like a chicken nugget just sitting on my sitting on my desk. And honestly, that's good enough. That's good enough because I ate the rest earlier. There's like a whole pound of fries, man. So good. I make streamer channel stuff. So like packages and stuff. I remember I used to make those, and then I took a hiatus. I had an Etsy shop and everything, man. I should get back on that. Mostly streamer, gives me work for a channel. Nice! What kind of client project did you just finish? God, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever drank. I am trying to, like, I'm trying to just get this over with because I need the protein, but these stupid chia seeds are horrible. I literally feel like I'm like drinking the last icebergs on Earth. Like they're just tiny little icebergs in my drink and I'm just drinking them all up like the fat ass I am. Like, okay, global warming. I'm just the global warming. Actually crazy. You made emotes for your client? W, man, W. Well, congrats on a project done. That's nice. I'm chill. I'm nonchalant. I hope. God, I'm not religious, but I might start praying, man. I hate chia seeds. Oh my god, I hate chia seeds. I hate chia seeds. I hate chia seeds. Do you want to see? Yeah, I bet. You can, like, if you have a website or anything, drop it, yeah. I'm always down for promoting people's work. I will let you know ahead of time, though, that I'm not currently looking for anything. Add me on Discord? Yeah, I bet, man. Is it just your same username?
Yeah, ba da ba doo. Yeah, ba da ba doo.
Oh my god. Why did I eat that up? Hold up. You know, I was one time on a field trip and I kept saying that, and my freaking, the person I was roomed with, alright, I'll add you, kept telling me, yo, stop saying that, you nuisance, you absolute disgusting ulcer. And so then I stopped saying it because, low-key, that hurt my feelings, and, and honestly, I kind of peed a little, and so then I stopped saying it, but honestly, I think they were just afraid of how cool I was. I was so cool. I just realized I had caps lock, Dawn, cap lock. Alright, I said that. It's golden shard. Golden shard. Oh gosh. This is why I'm freaking brain rotted as heck, man. I don't want to drink this. Alright, that's later. That's later. You know, I always imagine whenever I'm able to, like, actually use that wine glass for wine, which is in, like, January, February, March, April, May. Is it May? It's like, what, almost June? So that's like, what, 6 months? 2.5 years, I'll be able to drink wine and alcoholic beverages. I'll be able to take the hand sanitizer because it has alcohol in it. 1 second, watch this. That was so weak. Excuse me. That was so weak. Oh, that was really lame. I hyped it up for nothing, bro. I really did. I got this guinea pig. And no, I'm not pulling a live guinea pig out of my freaking bookcase, chat. let me just awkwardly crap crawl my way back. Look at my glorious Stewart. It's not squeaking. Oh my god, it's squawk! It's squawk! Oh! It's so cute. Ah! I don't know why I do that, honestly, when I go, it's like some type of, like, I don't know. It's so weird. I'm hitting that wave emote with, what's his name? Freaking Clifford? Oh my god, no, his name's Wumpus. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Why did I do this? Fury, hello, you'll never know. How are you doing today? Check out my guinea pig. This is a real life one, by the way. I got it labeled and everything. It says, made for stroking. You know, there's something else that's never mind. There's something else. I don't understand why it says that, but it's super soft and it's super funny. And it has like eyes somewhere here. It's like right here, but you can't even see them because my Logitech camera is 720 pixels. It's kind of ass, not gonna lie. But this is actually going to be our adoptive little thing that'll watch us make a tavern today, where everybody in my chat's gonna be saying, no, the Hypixel mods, the Hypixel Skyblock mods, they are gonna come after you. Chat, let's take a deep breath. Actually, let's do the box breathing method that my Belarusian teacher taught me. You breathe in, you hold it. You breathe out, you hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. In. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Now do that 5 times as I say the next few words that are about to come out of my mouth. We are going to make a tavern, okay? It is different from a casino. We've already been through the casino. Everybody joined and they were like, you can't do that. And I appreciate it because low-key, I thought you could make casinos on Hypixel Skyblock. They do not accept that. Honestly, it's giving peak capitalism by providing us with gambling, but not actually letting us make gambling systems. By the way, if you're wondering what's reflecting in my glasses, it's my keyboard. Watch this. Excuse me. Alright, chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. What comes after purple? Green. Now my keyboard is green. And it's like shaking or something. Did you mean to say furry when you said fury? Bro, ain't no way I just got that just now. No, back that up. Not like that. It's a terrible, guys. I'm not a furry. I used to know a furry. I've known good people who are furries and bad people who are furries. But honestly, I've also known good people who are people and, you know, bad people who are people who, can be furries or not furries. So honestly, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. The only difference is, either I'm being abused by somebody who looks like, a human face, or I'm being abused by someone who has a really cute strawberry cat pastel pink persona that is just beating me to death with the, PLA PVC pipe and foam paws on its feet as it just stomps me into the ground like I'm a piece of toast that needs to absorb some French toast batter, but it doesn't absorb it enough. So it's just not really working. Oh my gosh, your emotes are so cute. Nice work. And again, I will let you know, I'm not looking for anything, but I do support this. This is awesome. You did a really good job with that. Cute. I like the toga ones. I like all the, yeah, and your Jinx one is really cute too. You have a really nice art style. If I had to eat your art, it would not taste like French toast, do not worry. But especially the first one. Well, obviously, this is kind of basic, but it would taste like, you know, like something crunchy. Like, the hair looks crunchy. Like, I could bite into it, and it would be like, it would be like Tongulu. What is Tongulu? Not a tongue, you idiot. Stupid phone. Actually, I'm sorry for calling you an idiot. Please don't kill me when the AI and the robots take over. I need to unlock my iPhone to complete the Siri request. No, I'm too lazy for that. She can just kill me when the robots take over, honestly. She can just take over. she can just kill me when the robots take over. It's enough. You know, like, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna explain it without, butchering the name, but I'm pretty sure I did get it right. I'm just overthinking it. The fruits that are covered in the sugar that have, like, this hard case, and you, like, crack into them, and they're like, they're like crunchy, but then they get chewy. Like imagine that, but specifically like, I know people say they're bad, but like red grapes. Like I imagine them red, but they have the texture of cotton candy grapes and the crunch of them. That's what it tastes like. That's what your art tastes like. And you're like, everybody's always like, oh my god, how do you know how art tastes like? Because I'm a certified fat ass! Do not question my opinion. If you question my opinion, you don't even know me. You don't even know me. And you're not seeing the art I'm seeing right now, okay? But you should. You should be seeing this because this is goated. Okay, this is goated. I think, God, it looks so edible, bro. God, I'm so big. You look like a potential art teacher or philosophy major, bro. It's totally this shirt. It's totally the shirt. Look, I'm like Batman. Let me just throw my gerbil away because who cares about the gerbil, man? You're not seeing my feet today, chat. You're not seeing my feet today, okay? I have every single stream I have made perfectly sure that none of you are seeing those freaking grippers, and they're always covered, except for I think one stream where I think my heel was shown. Chat. That is paid premium access. When I get 50 followers on Twitch, it's over for you all. Because I'm going to make that a paid feature for my feet specifically. And then I'm going to roll it all into Archfiend Dice on Hypixel Skyblock. I have a gift that I was given. And I'm going to use it specifically to gamble. But remember, this tavern isn't for gambling, therefore it does not break the Hypixel Skyblock's TOS. But yes, it is totally this. I have seen my history teacher wear this, bro. This is like the goated thing. Like, look. So it stops right here, but then it has this like little. Oh my gosh, I'm such a pretty princess. Like little thingy right here. Like little thingy right here. I was a girl in the village doing alright, and I became a princess overnight. Oh, I kind of. That kind of hurt my back. I'm 18, by the way, if anybody's wondering. I'm a senior, but not enough to get a discount, I guess, at the local movie theater. I walk in and they're like, ha! Yeah, you look like a dumb. Moi, come back when these are all the way down to your feet. Then we'll believe you. And I'm like, bruh. I'm able to play a rhythm game, and that tells them everything they need to know. I think I could totally be an art teacher, chat. I wouldn't be a good one, but I could apply for it and get it is the issue. Also, philosophy, I would totally dig that. I don't know, though. I'm more into, like, psychology. Mainly because people are funny, bro. People are so funny. Oh, my gosh. Chat, y'all have no idea. I bet y'all do, but... like... Bud Light. Watch this. You see that? You see what I just had? That was a good jawline. Watch this. So I keep my hair down to give all of you guys a chance with the ladies. Because the second I put my hair up, I don't even need to put my hair up. They all think I'm fruity, but the second I move my hairline, watch this. Hold on, I need to catch my breath. I don't know why that got me out of breath. I have the best jawline in this chat. If you all think you have something better, I bet your lymph nodes are nasty and inflamed. I don't want to hear anything from you all. Anything at all. I know mine are better. Alright. Enough. Nada. Zilch. I don't know any more words. English is my first language. I'm bad at it. And I'm bad at every other language. It's also my only language, but we're trying to change that slowly but surely. I love your art. let me think. I lost my train of thought for a second. Oh, right. What we're doing. I am teaching you. This is a very interesting start of stream. Yes, I'm waiting. You know, sometimes when you need to pause and think about before you say things. Because honestly, go grind it yourself and stop begging everywhere. Bro, is somebody what is this guy talking about? Oh gosh. Oh, this is why I love streaming. Chat, what's going on? What's going on? Oh gosh. Oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why his message didn't come through. I see. I hate to break it to everybody here. If everybody's wondering how rich I am on Hypixel Skyblock, I have exactly... Why am I talking in the background? Shut up! God. I'm trying to do something here, and I'm interrupting myself. God, my big ass. Anyways. My bank account balance right now is like 4.8 million. And that's like the highest I've ever had it. I started playing in January, chat. Let's put that into perspective. Why do you think the stream title is Yay, let's build a tavern, yay! Because I have nothing better to do. I'm like, bro, I don't have anything to do. I'm just kidding, I have tons to do. However, this came to me as like a prophecy in my dream. Like, I swear, you know, my mother always asks me whenever she has like a pint of like beer, because she likes that. She's like, daughter, would you like a sip of my wonderful, I forgot what she gets. It's not Bud Light. It's something kind of fancy. Something kind of fancy. And I'm like, no, mother, I do not wish to try your mind-altering beverages. And she goes, weak spawn of mine. And I'm like, birth giver, no! It's really dramatic, but honestly, it's also kind of sad. So in order to appease my birth giver, and also the sperm donor, I am going to create a tavern in Minecraft, so my parents, hopefully one day, I think my dad has a Minecraft account. I wonder, oh my god, I wonder if I could convince my parents to play Minecraft. I'm writing this down. I'm writing this down, brokey. Okay, yeah, buddy. I'm building a tavern on my island. I'd like to see you talk after it's constructed, okay? And I'll let everybody here know. Everybody here know. I'm about to eat this shit down, okay? I'm about to eat this down, okay? And the reason is, y'all don't know crap about what I'm gonna teach y'all today. Have y'all ever wondered how a building is built? Have y'all ever wondered what architects do in their free time? Not their free time, when they're working. I'm not an architect. That is a protected career. I never claimed that I am one. But I am an architect student. And you know, I have a college I need to apply to in the spring, because I'm doing like the 1 year at community college and then transferring over. I need things for my portfolio. And what else is better than a tavern? Yeah. So this is gonna be something interesting is gonna start after this stream. I'll tell you guys that. Y'all ever wanted to see the most chaotic portfolio for somebody to get into a good school? I'm about to take a freaking Minecraft build and put them into a freaking portfolio for a really high-tech college. That's the goal today, chat. That's the goal. You sure you're not into philosophy? Philosophy? Hold on, I know this, but define philosophy. Honestly, possibly. The question is, is it more of a psychology thing or a philosophy thing? You know, is it more, or can it be both? Because psychology is very much intertwined with architecture. Hold on, let me look up the definition of philosophy real quick to make sure I have this right. Philosophy definition to a pre-K or to a pre-K. For a pre-K kid, explain that philosophy is like being a thinking detective. It's about asking big questions. Why can I not read this? Oh my gosh. Chat, Somebody, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do a window capture here so y'all can see what I'm seeing. And just let me know if this, if this looks, if I'm reading and understanding this right. Okay, wait, hold on. Why can I not bounce the chat? There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, everybody. All right, classe as my yeah. For a pre-K child, explain that philosophy is like being a thinking detective. Oh my gosh, there's a murder case. It's about asking big questions, like what is the world made of? Well, you see, you've got the stratosphere, the stratosphere, the rock sphere, the magma sphere, and the iron core sphere. That's what makes up the Earth. Except it's all flat, because I don't believe in a round Earth, guys. That's a joke. What makes things fair? That's a morality question. I love morally gray people. What is the world? Oh, wait, hold on. I already read that one. Lock in, lock in. Why do we do what we do? I thought that was more psychology. So they kind of overlap, don't they? Let me just pull up my glasses here. It's about exploring ideas and thinking about different answers. Kind of like solving a puzzle. Okay, I might need to... Asking questions about the world and trying to figure things out. Like why the sky is blue or the sun... Oh! Okay, so it's like asking a bunch of questions. So just being like, Mother, why didn't we go to McDonald's? And Mother, why is McDonald's here and not there? And why are things this way and not that way? why are things this way and not that way? Why is this thing... You Opera user? Yeah, I am an Opera user, unfortunately. It literally snuck up on me too, but I admit, I do use it. I do. I used to use Microsoft Edge because I love edging, but honestly, that was really cringy. But freaking it would lag out my streams to the point where I'd be going around the camera like a FNAF figure, like Foxy when he's like about to jump you from the Pirate's Cove. He just moves around closer and closer to the camera, and then all of a sudden he's gone, and then he's right in front of your face. That was kind of the movement. So I had to switch over. Unfortunately, it's quite unfortunate, but honestly, philosophy kids, Britannia kids, homework help. They're giving kids philosophy questions. Oh, wait, is a subscriber feature. View article for kids, students, and I think we should stick to this one, guys. The word philosophy comes from the Greek language. It means love of wisdom. I'm not even joking with you guys. Like, I know the definition, but I want to make sure I know it, you know? The quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. The quality of being wise. The quality of being wise. Well, that's really descriptive. The soundness of an action or decision with regard to the application of experience. So basically, knowing what to do based off past experience. So like the whole, if you fail, you can try again and you can do it better. Yes. Makes sense. Makes sense. I'm pretty sure. You see how my face gets so bright whenever I pull up a tab that's just green and white? It's ridiculous. Anyways, it means philosophy is the study of some of the most basic questions about human life. For example, what can people really know about life? Or are human beings basically good or evil? So, like, I know Socrates' stories. I don't know why, but it just made me think about peeing whenever I thought of him. A Greek philosopher from Athens who's credited as the founder of Western philosophy. And wasn't this the guy who thought that the sun was the center of the universe? Sun analogy. Yeah, let's see this guy. Compares the good with this. No, I don't think this is the right guy. Hold on. Let me ask my Siri, who has always the correct answer. Did Socrates believe the earth was in the middle of the universe or the sun?
Believe that Earth was the center of the universe. This is known as geocentrism, as opposed to heliocentrism, which states that the Earth revolves around the sun. This is from encyclopedia.com and brainly.com.
Well, it didn't tell me which one, but they typically believed that Earth was the center of everything because, you know, Humans believe everyone. Yeah, they're special. Everybody believes they're special. It's like an epidemic, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, it's 1 a.m. I don't know why I'm here. That's the realest thing, man. Realest thing. Nah, man, make sure you can get some sleep, too. You can get some sleep, too. Trust. I will let you know. I don't suggest to try to fall asleep to this unless it's later in the stream, because I am pretty rowdy sometimes. I'll be like chill, and then I'll just go, hey guys, welcome to my stream, how's it going? So yeah, pretty obnoxious is a good way to put it. Now let me introduce to you. What is this? I can add stickers to tabs. I can add more than just hold on. I'm like actually about to cry. I don't know why. I don't know if this makes me really upset or really happy. What is this? Madoka Magica reference? Bro, what is that? Get out of my face. Just fucking Socrates. I can't do it, man. Look at all these stickers. Oh, I'm getting totally distracted. We have a goal today. Now, this might look really wholesome. I made a new Pinterest account, chat. This is not the aesthetic, okay? This might be, but that's just because I'm a fatty. But otherwise, oh, also this is the aesthetic. This is the aesthetic too. Honestly, this ginormous cat. Good lord, I wouldn't be surprised if that basket's. Never mind. Also this one specifically. But let's narrow down. Let's narrow down our search history. I'm just kidding. Let me think. So we're looking. I'm gonna introduce to you guys what you do when you're going through the process of making. Oh my gosh, where the heck did my window capture go? It did not stay up, chat. It did not stay up. You can see my bad line client real quick. Hold up. There is a certain lengthy, not lengthy exactly, but a process to making. It is not capturing the window I want it to capture. That's very interesting. All right, chat. We can look at this. We can look at this for now. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have bad line point. I literally have none. I don't know how you get those anyway. All right, chat. Let's go through some stuff here. Now, a little birdie told me some people like to learn how buildings work. Okay, and let me go over some stuff here. Okay, let me go over some stuff here. Now, the question is, how exactly does one design a building? How does exactly one? What does an architect do? A lot of people believe an architect does. Gosh, it's hard for me to remember because I've been doing it for so long. But freaking. A lot of people think an architect not only designs a building, but designs like the furniture layout and, you know, the place is going to be built and, you know, everything like that. In reality, chat, it's quite literally just designing things, okay? So just designing buildings. So this stream is going to be a mix of just building in Minecraft and showing you guys how actually, if you want to make better buildings, this is quite literally stuff I've learned as an architecture student, not an architect. Do not proclaim yourself as an architect, chat. That can get you in lots of legal trouble. You need an accreditation for that, like a genuine like post-grad education for that. That's something. So, chat, let's go over this, okay? I never claimed I was an artist. I'm just a student. I don't know how to use this how do I use this program? Also, actually, maybe I should pull up my current client floor plan to show you guys kind of what we're working with. I can just pull up one of my floors to show you guys the skills, because I guess you know, if I'm gonna say, hey guys, I'm gonna teach you something good, I should show you the good thing that I can teach. Like, yeah, pretty much. I don't think I have my notebook around here. I have this gigantic pencil. I don't think this is quite good for drafting because it's not a lead holder. We use like specific stuff, and we do it on computers nowadays. Chat, fun fact, if any of y'all are going into architecture blind for college, it is a lot of conceptualization, which means you basically take a bunch of shapes, or you like, you know, put together a bunch of different things, and they say, okay, make a building out of it. Helps you think like more creatively and stuff. Alrighty. So let me show you guys kind of what I'm working on with this rendering. I'm honestly getting a bit distracted with it, but don't tell my teacher. Honestly, my teacher is gonna be wowed by my progress because wow, I'm so good at what I do. I'm not actually gonna show you guys the floor plan because this might actually become an actual house. So I'm just gonna show you a bit of the outside, okay? So, I'm trying to show, however, it is on game capture much farther below than the current one we have up. It is also not in full screen. That could be an issue. It is also probably just an issue too that it's just not working. You definitely use spaghetti and marshmallows, bro. What does that mean? I use spaghetti and marshmallows. Like to fry over like it's not a cockpit. What is it? A fire pit? Honestly, I have done that before. I was in Boy Scouts, and I did that. There's a reason why I never got my Eagle badge from there. They did not appreciate me. They were like, yeah, you're a funny one, aren't you? Okay, you know what? This is not working. Congratulations, chat. You're about to see my OBS setup. I'm sick and tired of this. Look at how many me's there are. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Anyways, chat, look at this. This is one of the houses I'm currently working on. There's a bunch of stuff on the ground. You can see I have like a door schedule or something over there. That's basically a list of doors that I have numbered like 1 to 1,000,000, however many I need. Stuff like that. And then I have like a floor plan or whatever. Let me just... Yeah, so there's like a bunch of floor plans over here, a deck and everything. I have a square footage over there, and then like just a ton of stuff over here. And then I was just kind of designing something over here earlier, right before stream. Yeah, tons of stuff going on. It's not good. Actually, it's honestly good. I'm not gonna lie. My freaking teacher looked at me and she was like, "Dang, that's kind of good." So honestly, that's good because she's really good at what she does. Honestly, she kind of scares me. You bad lion. I recently have been trying it, and honestly, I mean, it's worked for me pretty far. So good pretty far. But we'll see how it goes as we continue everything. All right, so let me go back to Critter really quick. Okay, chat. So the question is, what do you do first when you're designing? What do you do first when you're designing a building? Okay. Well, let's see. What do you need to do first? Well, first you need to do something called researching. I know everybody here is bad at this, and oh my gosh, I am so bad at freaking drawing. Actually, that's not too bad. The first thing you gotta do is researching. Then you got to get inspiration. I'm too lazy to spell it out. Then you've got to get the basics, like a color palette, the basic, shape, whatever. Then you've got to get the floor plan. This is the most lengthy process. And then you've got to get usually you can do the roof, or you can do the furnishing. Whatever works, okay? Whatever works best. Whatever works, okay? Now, I swear on my mother's soul that I have a better handwriting than this, okay? I used to for like a year, then swapped. My life is now better. Make a square. Alright, bet, watch this. They don't know I know this trick. Oh, that was not the correct tool. I genuinely thought, oh, this is the hold on. Yeah, I'm so good at what I do, chat. Oh my gosh, I'm so good at what I do. You can also use one of these. Whoa, I'm not even holding a shift. Hold on, wait, that was kind of good. That was for straight lines, and then you got. That wasn't the worst. But I've done better. This is, it's kind of interesting. Yes. I'm going to bed, so good night. Alright, good night, man. Have a nice night, okay? You have a nice night. Get some good sleep and dream about taverns and drinking. Don't do that if you're not of age. Well, actually, just don't blame me. just don't blame me, okay? Just don't blame me. You have a nice night. And so we have researching, inspiration. We have the basics. We have a floor plan. We have the roof and furnishing, and then whatever comes next. I'm just gonna go. Yep, that's the next. The other one is the next one you do, and then let's think. Pretty much after that, then you just drink. Like I don't know what else to say, and that's going in all caps. With not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 exclamation points. Mainly because this has been one of the longest weeks of my life, and I really need this right now. Do not check my age. Anyways, so this is the recipe we're gonna be doing. Okay, let me move it over here so y'all can see. This is the recipe, okay? The secret sauce, you can say, for how to exactly make a building. Alright? So in Hypixel Skyblock, if we make a building using all these steps, you'll get a perfect building that is up to code, meaning, you know, if you submit it to the government and get somebody to sign off of it, they'll be like, yo, chill, this looks good, you know what, build it. Pretty much good like that, although I'm pretty sure you need like a build site picked out. But I digress, okay? Pretty much, this is all we need to do. Alright, it might seem like a lot, but keep in mind that the only parts that are outside of Hypixel are the researching, the inspiration, and the basics, which do not take that much time at all. It does not take that much time at all, chat, okay? If anybody tries to say, oh my gosh, this is taking forever, they're going to get banned, because it is not that long, okay? Not that long. I'm pulling up the stream on my phone. Therefore, my responses will become longer, but they will be there, which is more important than them not being there, which happened in the very early days of streaming, which is fine, because we're over it, chat. We are quite literally over it. Now, chat, you think what I should do? I'm thinking what I should do is I should export this. Why do I have James Madison in here? What is this? Bruh, I don't know what this is, to be honest. Yeah! Yeah, wow, I'm so glad. Actually, I just spammed this. List. Alright, chat. Man, so funny. I don't even know if y'all saw that, but it was like a whole bunch of files I had. I don't get it. Oh, shoot, I didn't save it as a JPEG. Whoopsie daisy. Let me save it as a PNG. Yes, PNG. Alright, then I'm going to go. Oh, I accidentally opened Microsoft Edge. I am very sorry for my stream about to crash and everybody about to lose their computers to a massive earthquake because Microsoft Edge loaded up. I'm going to edit the image. Wait for it. I am the one thing in life I can control. I am inimitable. I am the original. I ate that up, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie with y'all. Anybody who says I didn't, getting banned, by the way. Immediately getting banned. Anybody who says that. Let's pull up this image, okay, chat? Now you see it on the screen. But what if we could have it as a gigantic, annoying checklist on the top left of the screen that haunts us all as we're just sitting here, just enjoying our day. Everything. Alright. Now, chat, we have a job to accomplish, and that is, why is that tab so large? Goodness, almost as large as me, bro. Anyways, now, this is not the aesthetic we're looking for, except for the Sylveon and the chicken garlic sandwich, because that looks good, even though if I ate that, I would die. I have a dairy allergy. Thank you, chat. We are going to go ahead and search up emo. Yeah, that should have already plagued it a little bit. Drinking. Yes, this is the vibe we want today, guys. This is okay, this is getting a little bit too much. Let me click off that. Alright, we want a tavern, okay, chat? We want a tavern. This is what I'm talking about. This right here. Not this AI slop. But we want, oh my god, what is this little creature? Oh my gosh. This is, what, oh my zooey mama. Ma'am, who are you? Oh, these are cool. What is this? I'm getting so distracted. What is this little creature? Alright, chat. This is amazing. I don't know who you are, Denise. If this becomes a real creature, please immediately give custody to me. I think these are emotes, too. That's really freaking cute. Okay, chat. Track them down immediately and report back to me. Y'all are officially, like, my little minions. My little, it's fun. It's a funny term. Little goons. Little gooners. That's funny. I love it. Ugh, man, that's gonna be the new catchphrase. Turn off battery saver mode. Thank you. Oh, God. My Siri's gonna kill me when the freaking robots turn over. I mean, take over. No, I almost said took over. It feels like that sometimes. All right. So this is the aesthetic we're looking for, chat. This is a new profile. By the way, this is my my Gmail account for any businesses. So if you want to be inspired, sponsored, if you want to sponsor me, go ahead here. I know everybody who's rushing there right now is a scam, by the way. Unless you're not. Which, low-key, I respect it. I respect it. Alright, chat. Alright, chat. So let's make a Pinterest board. Okay. Let's see. Let's see, though. Let's check around a little bit. This is what we're going to be calling a design board. And we can also make it a mood board. So the very first part when you make a building of any kind is making something called a design board or called a mood board. A mood board, not a moon board. This is also known as the researching phase and the inspiration phase. They kind of mesh together, but the point is a tavern is mainly used. We already kind of have done a bit of research on taverns. Tavern, purpose, and function. This is all you need to know before you start a building, okay? If somebody says, hey, make me a museum. Okay, how have museums been made in the past? Taverns served as multi-purpose social and economic hubs, functioning as places to consume food and drink, provide lodging for travelers, and fostering community interaction. So basically, what we need in this is a place for people to gather, a place for people to showcase their skills, as well as a place for people to drink massive amounts of alcohol in-game legally, okay? And we also have this lovely little website here. Answer the question, what is a tavern? It's a task that we can do in a couple of ways. Yes, depending on how hard the liquor is. It is a very different one. The American tavern was like a cross between a public house and an inn. You have it here, folks. That's right. Sometimes taverns had lodging. See, this is why you research, because you forget about things, but then you remember it. What does a tavern symbolize? Opposition to regime and religion. We're not going to go into that on my stream. What is a tavern used for? Drinking! And also food. And somewhere to sleep. Alright, so, chat. Let's go ahead and go back to Critter really quick. Let's go back to Critter really quick. Alright, alright. Here are the main basics we need. We need something that functions as an inn. We need something with food. We need something for drink, which that does not look like a D, but that is okay. Now it does. We need inn, a food, a drink, some type of entertainment, which preferably can be provided by the guests to the island themselves. Okay? This is what you want to do. If you're planning to make a building, write down the stuff you need. Also, if you're like, I don't know what to write down, this seems so, abstract, check the rooms. If you're making a museum, what kind of rooms do you need in a museum? This is just an example. For commercial purposes, a museum needs public restrooms, which are calculated about how much square feet the building has and the capacity of people it can have. If you have 2 stories, you legally need an elevator for wheelchair access. You can have classrooms. If you have classrooms, how many exhibits do you want to have? judge your classrooms out of how big those exhibits are, where it's placed, and how much foot traffic it's going to be. How big is your parking lot going to be, and how big is your gift shop going to be? Those are examples of how to think like an architect, okay, chat? That's how to think like an architecture student. Also, an architect, as my teacher says, who is an architect. I'm not an architect. I'm just the student. So pretty much, we need an N for sleep. Oh my gosh, I need to rest my eyes, because people go to taverns because they're tired and they're sleepy, and after they drink, they get drunk and they need to sleep. Drink, money. That is the main reason why they have that. Guess why the food is there? Money. Also, guess why the inn is there? Money. But mainly it's for a more of a high quality experience. And again, also for just copious amounts of moolah, 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 rula, 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 entertainment. Money and high quality. Money and high quality. That's quite literally it, chat. That's quite literally it. If you ever wonder, why does this building have this? And it's a commercial building? Literally for money. Why did this person build a deck in their background? To increase their value, get a tiny bit of use out of it, but mainly, since the house prices are ever more increasing, money! That is the most reason why people do anything, okay? That is the reason people do anything. Fun fact, airplanes only keep their, keep the inside of them pressurized just enough for you to feel normal. However, if they had them just a little bit less, you would pass out. And the oxygen they give you from the oxygen mask, I'm really sorry. If anybody's scared of flying, please turn off your sound for the next 10 seconds. But if you are in an airplane and the oxygen masks deploy, they will just have barely enough oxygen to keep you conscious. It's mainly about a money thing. And they also go at the perfect altitude, just again, for money. It's all about money. Money, money, money. That's the big thing, okay? However, I digress, okay? We have gotten 4 main things. Chat, is there anything else? Anything else? And I mean, I guess, like, a big thing, too, is usually there's, like, a bar / stage, or, you know, just tons of areas like that. Tons of areas like that. Okay? And that would be good. That would be good for what we have, okay? Because I'm sick. I'm sick of having an island that can't entertain people, okay? And we also have a little drinking area that we can kind of renovate into a better area. Okay? A better area. But I think it's better to come up with a bit of an idea for how this tavern's gonna work. So we have our idea here, okay? We need something with an end. Something that is able to make food, something that's able to make drink, something that has entertainment, and something that has something kind of similar to a bar on a stage. Okay, that is what's going to make up our tavern, okay? Now, as we keep those in mind, as we keep looking, let's just see where else we're able to go with this, okay? Let's just see where we're able to go with this. Alrighty. So, a tavern is usually in a very centralized, busy area, but since this is going to be one of the faster, like the more first things that we make, we're going to have to be very strategic about how we lay this out, okay? We have a building site, which I can show to you guys here. I'll load up Hypixel here in a second here. But pretty much, what you want to do, ooh, we can also include like a quest board like that. That's not a bad idea. Here, let me start a Pinterest board. Chat, I think we should go back to the non-modern ones, because the modern ones are decent, but they don't have as much aura, okay? This is the aura that we're talking about, okay? This is the aura we're talking about here. Let's actually make a Pinterest board. Okay, let's make a Pinterest board. Alright! Here we go. Here we go. Now we have, yep, yep, that is not the one I want to, that is not quite, the proper. Where do I put this? Where do I put this? Alright, hold on. There's a lot of noises. Somebody just exploded in front of me. In Minecraft. Let me show you guys a bit of my Skyblock Island, okay? Gosh, it is all white for this freaking Pinterest page. That is quite obnoxious. quite obnoxious. Yes, yes, saving pins. You know what? I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of this. Okay, let's just go ahead and hit one of these. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, chat. I'm gonna show you guys kind of the area. This is a little bit chaotic, as you can see, but that's the point. We are making the main area for everything that's gonna happen. Okay, we're having these build streams every once in a while, but the main thing is that this is going to become a wonderful place for people to gather and kind of go, oh my gosh, that's so cool, I want to live here, and then I can get tons of hot women all in my place. But I'm not gay. I just like women. So pretty much we have 2 NPCs here. We have 4 chairs. This is our current place where we drink Scorn Claw Brew is what it's called. It's basically alcohol in Hypixel Skyblock, because obviously, you know, you gotta have some equivalent. We have gambling in like Archfiend dice and stuff. So obviously we've got to have an alcohol equivalent, and it is called Scorn Claw Brew. I will show it to you guys almost immediately after I show y'all this. This is hideous. Okay, I have never seen such a disgusting thing before. I have a little gambling machine down here that I was immediately told was kind of illegal, so I haven't used it. I also haven't destroyed it, so I don't know. I don't know. We have a bit of terrain here. Ooh, sorry. We also have a very steep bridge if you'd like to break your calves up here. So this obviously needs quite a bit of reworking. But as you can see, we have a bit of a color palette. It's kind of end themed. This is also my father. He tells you where the stream is. This is where the stream's at, chat. You can go to either of these links, and that'll be where it is. Ignore how many materials I have stashed away. It is unimportant to you. As an architecture student, I need to always be prepared. Basically, this was made in a rush. I didn't even realize it's, like, not even done. But it's not even done. Including all this area. This is a whole big area. Fun fact, chat. If y'all are making a freaking base in Hypixel Skyblock, make it tall. Like, seriously, everything I've seen ever since I've joined from back in, January of this year, I have never seen somebody actually utilize the height from the top of it to the bottom of it before. And I think it's really wasted, you know, because if you play it right, you can make it seem a lot more horizontally big rather than it seeming vertically big. But you can always work around it, you know. You can have different areas, and like you can spawn here and then you teleport and it's an area up there. Like, you know, it just works out. It just works out how it works out. You just gotta do it. Okay. All right, it should be in this one. All right. Let me introduce you to my strange addiction. I love logging on to my Hypixel Skyblock island and drinking copious amounts of these called Scorn Claw Brew. Scorn Claw Brew. It is absolutely delicious, okay? I don't know how to tell y'all how good this is without y'all seeing it truly in person. You see, usually you gather with 3 other people. You sit here. You stare at the NPC in the face as they judge you for drinking underage on a stream, but it's okay because it's in a game and it's legal. As you down 5 Scorn Claw Brews. Eventually it sounds like rain, but little did you know, you peed your pants. And so did Zeus. Because it actually is raining and I lied. And then you realize, wow, this is the best thing I've ever done. The best feeling. Mainly because I feel like I'm like breaking some kind of rule by doing this. And I guess it's like the teenager in me. I'm like, oh my god, I'm breaking the rules. Oh my gosh. And you know, it's not really that big of a deal. But anyways, we have Jerry and his gigantic poop bucket. We have everything we can need. However, notice how we just don't have a tavern. And it's frustrating. So yeah, up there's where we're gonna build it, okay, chat? I wanted to show you guys that really quick because it's honestly important to know what we're working with, okay? Now, let's get this Pinterest board back into its rightful proper place. Now, let's go ahead and curate this, because the only thing that we've actually, oh my gosh, what the heck is that? That looks good. Is it Nutella? I've never had Nutella. Anyways, so there's an interesting mix of things here. I kind of like this little rat rodent. This is interesting too. Pinterest is always really chaotic. Oh, that's really pretty. Before we get distracted by the random rats on my Pinterest, I'm gonna click on a few of them just so you know they stay here as we're just kind of, you know, scrolling along. Because the more you click them, the more it'll suggest them, the more it'll bring them up. So let's just go ahead and, you know, keep on going. Actually, let's see if we can find a Minecraft tavern. Watch, it'll be some AI, stupid AI stuff. Because because for some reason people have been using AI for Minecraft. Like, bro, I'm so sorry. It's Minecraft, like, y'all. I don't get AI. You know, if anybody joins my channel, they're like, yo, do you support AI, or, you know, using AI for art and stuff? I'm gonna be for real with y'all. I don't like getting into controversial stuff, but that's something, you know, I don't support. You know, and it's mainly just, you know, it's like, it makes art more accessible. But the thing is, you know, like, there's a difference between making art accessible for more people and making art more inaccessible for people who are actively, you know, doing that as a means to support their living, you know. There's a big difference into making it more accessible and also not being harmful. And it's also a difference between making it accessible and it's harmful to the community of artists. And currently, AI is very harmful to the art community. And my reasons for that are mainly because AI is taking over people's jobs and everything. It's teaching people that it's okay. Things like that, especially. And it keeps on getting better and better, unfortunately. But honestly, nothing ever beats the emotion that goes into somebody's art. I'm telling y'all right now. You can sit forever coming up with a good prompt. But if you don't put that actually into your hand in artwork, it'll never look as good as somebody who does that with their hand. I'm saying that. It genuinely won't. Even if somebody's art is literally like stick figures, if they have a meaning behind it, it's always more potent as long as you can understand the meaning behind it a bit than some AI slop. Now this looks interesting. Okay? I think looking at Minecraft builds puts it a bit into perspective of what we can do versus what Pinterest is saying that we can do. Okay, I'm getting back on topic now. I like this one a lot, but the question is, how in the hell? Like, you know, I don't mean to be a pessimist, guys. We can make that. You know what? I'm being too much of a pessimist, chat. We're going to draw inspiration off of this, okay? We're going to draw inspiration off of this tavern. Okay? Now, excuse me. We are going to need also a bit of mood boards for what we do. This is something called a mood for a mood board, okay? Now, tip from an architecture student: when you're planning something, of course, you always want to start with a design board and a mood board. I'm quickly going to mute my game because it is very loud. Very, very, very loud. But anyways, you always want to start with a mood board and a design board, or typically at least a design board, but a mood board really helps you think into the psychology behind how your space is going to work when you make it. This is something called a mood board, as well as, you know, a design board. This goes pretty hand in hand. It has this sort of aesthetic to it, where you can tell that people are gathered here to talk and have, you know, this kind of cozy vibe, and you can tell it's cold outside from the frosted windows. There's a big fireplace to keep everybody warm. If you feel cozy or emotional from something, that typically is a good sign that it is a mood board rather than a design board. It can be taken either way. Honestly, a lot of them can, but for me, this is more of a mood because this is a very dramatic lighting setting. It's kind of more aesthetic. It doesn't have the whole board and picture, which would mean it's a design board. However, it only has a little bit. And it also has a bunch of these really unique papers, which kind of gives this mood of adventure. So we're going to save that too. Okay? Okay? This is the same thing, just kind of gives a bit more of a mood. You can also tell, though, that a lot of taverns, when you're looking for inspiration, you want to note the similarities in a lot of things that people have. When you look at everything, they have boards going across the ceiling, pillars that outline the area, these type of 3D dimensional ones that have these really kind of windows that go up and then at the top they curve. That seems to be really common. They have this Tudor architectural style that not only has indoor seating but outdoor seating. It has these frosted panes, this kind of well lit but also kind of dark where if you're in the wrong place, you know, you could see somebody who's a bit shadier. That is kind of the vibe of a tavern. This is more of a mood board, so I'm gonna put it on the tavern. I like this guy. This guy's also going on there. You can see a bunch of different things, but the main things that are popping out to me is that a lot of them are pretty fantastical, meaning that they're pretty fantasy. They're pretty unrealistic is the main thing, which is why we're not making this in real life. Although you could totally make it in real life. I mean, it's super easy. These are all based on real buildings. The only difference is that in our real life today, it would be much more difficult as compared to the earlier days. Mainly just because it's not mainstream. It's not necessarily harder to construct, it's just not as popular nowadays, so it's harder to find, you know, people who are skilled in that, people who are willing to do that, as well as, honestly, yeah, probably a bit of the materials. However, we're gonna keep on looking. Now, see, this is an interesting one right here. I'm pulling this up in a different tab. This is more of like a Dungeons and Dragons vibe, okay? You can have tons of different Dungeons and Dragons vibe here. Now the question is Dungeons and Dragons, the taverns are usually meant as a place to meet new characters and to meet new people. That's a nice vibe. That's a nice vibe. So we'll keep this in mind, although I'm not going to save it. I'm not really digging the vibe here, you know, not really digging the vibe. It's not quite as mood as the other ones have been. But you know, we're gonna keep seeing this. This is interesting. All right, this is the first, and I mean the first Minecraft tavern we've seen. Alright, chat. So let's take a look at this. You can tell, I'm sorry, my gigantic pencil got in the way. You can tell by looking at this, all of the interesting things in it. If you look at the high, steep pitched roof, this is the type of things you want to look for when you're looking for inspiration for a house, okay, chat? This is class time, okay? This is class time. Listen up! When you're making something, a building especially, pay attention to the details. You see the part of the building that juts out? That's right here. And let me pull this up. So there is a part of the building that juts out right here. That is a distinguished part of the house that is from Tudor architecture. This is made using staircases and it juts slightly out. The reason why this was back in the Tudor time period was to make more space on upper floors, while houses were kind of a little bit crammed together, but not too crammed together. Honestly, not very much as compared to nowadays. But it was getting to be a bit more compact while saving space. That's the point. As you can see, they also have what's called a dormer. A dormer is when you have a steep roof with a wall coming out of it, usually typically attics or a primary suite. Also, they used to call them master bedrooms, but I call them primaries now. That's the proper terminology nowadays or something. There is a rock foundation. Now, I want everybody to pay attention to that, to this right here, okay? A lot of buildings, what they like to do, although it's harder nowadays because you need wheelchair accessibility, they like to have these grand staging entrances, especially if they're commercial, where they have, you know, a nice incline or decline, usually an incline into the building, some type of big doors, some big entryway, something interesting like this barrel going down the side. So while we're building something, we want to make sure that our door's centralized, like how these two windows are kind of flanking it, as well as we have something interesting to lead up to the door. Okay? Okay. But honestly, think about it though. I think the most funny thing about this is that if somebody was leaving a tavern, I assume the people who build this tavern are not thinking that people are actually going to leave, because imagine somebody who's a little woozy from all that right there, falling down the stairs, no handrail in sight. That would not be up to code if they had a code back then, which they don't. However, this is Minecraft and nobody gives a shit, so make the damn stairs. nobody cares. Pretty much. You have this gigantic chimney in the back. Absolutely gorgeous chimney. They did a fabulous job on that. I do not usually build in Minecraft either. Which is why you spend this time in inspiration gathering. Y'all saw the thing I just showed you on Minecraft that I built with no plan in mind. It was ass! So we're just gonna try to make something a bit better, okay? That's the goal. Okay, so this is a good thing to study, okay? It's pretty natural. It's got a few things growing around, because taverns are usually seen not as the most high-quality establishments, but they provide high-quality food, entertainment, performances, and sometimes, depending on the tavern you get, especially if you're in a D&D campaign or watching an anime, sometimes you'll get some good rest and above. So what I can imagine, let's go over kind of what a floor plan for an area like this will like. You walk in and you're meted with, tables all around you. People are chatting it up. There's kind of a path in the middle. The bar is kind of down to your right, and then the stairs are in the back. Typically, from what I've seen, the stairs for taverns are usually, and I mean usually with a grain of salt, take it with a grain of salt, in the back. However, that can change depending on what. But usually it's just because you have a second floor and then they have a bit more hidden stairs for an inn. That's why they're in the back, for the privacy aspect of it all. And also because as you come into, your inn and everything, you want to make sure that, the customers who come in for sleeping, they get a bit of whiff of that, about that money and, little alcohol beverages and stuff. Think about it from a perspective. Hello, Omega. How are you doing today? I am teaching about architecture and techniques on how to make your Minecraft builds better and how we're making a tavern today. So, yeah, pretty much you walk in. There's this great atmosphere of everything. There's a bar somewhere. Probably, I imagine it's on your left or your right, and there's a few tables before then. And then the stairs are in the back because they want privacy for the people sleeping upstairs, as well as the people who are going to their beds. They want them to pass all of the yummy food and the beverages because they might consider dropping by for a little snack. It's all money. Think about, for commercial buildings, always think about businesses and how they want to make money. How people, there's a bunch of studies out there. This is why psychology is great. There's a bunch of studies out there. People who pass stores with, food and bakeries with the smells coming out, a lot of places like that get their sales from those people passing by, which is why a tavern like this would want a person who's walking in and kind of iffy about getting something to eat to have to go buy all of the food and all of the drinks to get to their resident where they're staying, either permanently or temporarily upstairs. And also, it's just good because it provides privacy. There's a whole level to it. So that's actually perfect. Let's save that to our Pinterest board because that's the best. So that helps us curate everything. Let's see what we have when we go back here. Yeah, a bit more curated. We still have a dog eating a hot dog. Some random, but honestly, not gonna lie. Oh, we're already getting floor plans. This is fabuloso. Very glad. We have a cat with Jack and Daniels, probably because I keep clicking on them. We have a male wife in knight armor from the medieval days. That's a bit of a mood. Let's save it to the Pinterest board. This is interesting. I don't exactly know. I made a new Pinterest account, and this is what it thinks I like. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, okay. We're gonna look for some more Minecraft Tavern. We're gonna see if we can find any more. We can see if I can find any more. I hope you're doing well today, Omega. I hope you're doing well today. Let's see. Oh, we can make taps with barrels. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, this is also another part of the design process, chat. If you're making an actual building, you don't have to go through the process of looking at your game and little hacks. But if you're... I just found something really fascinating. Oh, that's so cool. You have a plan? Dude, lay it on me. What's your plan? Go on. Go on. I'm very, very, very curious. Very curious. Let's keep looking in the meantime while he types up a storm. So we also need to decide what kind of bar this is going to be. I think, honestly, based on the fact that we're going to have quite a bit of people here, I think it would be kind of cool to have it be this really cozy bar where you can have people sitting alone, people sitting together, whole groups sitting together, just a whole bunch of different things. So honestly, this is a really cool reference. This is a cool reference. We're not actively going to copy any specific one here. It's called Gathering Inspiration for a reason, chat. That's why you just take a whole bunch of things and then your subconscious pieces them together. That's how mine works, at least. This is a good example. Yeah, medieval tavern. So a lot of taverns are characterized again off of Tudor architecture, which is exposed beams, which is also these wood beams you see behind these fences and walls over here. It's basically each house has beams that go alongside them. They're just studs, you know, whatever you want to call them, pretty much. I don't exactly recall if they're different back then from today, because I know they're structural. They're not necessarily decorative, but they treated them like they were. But pretty much, exposed wood was really popular back then. It's not the easiest to work with, but it's not the hardest to work with, so honestly, we'll take it. And they always have these rock bases, which are always really pretty. Dark, warm woods, and also really high sloped, pointed, gabled roofs. Or you can also see a bit of mansard roofs sometimes. Might need to leave in a minute for a little bit. So with that one girl that said that bad things around me, right? Hold on, BRB. Alright. I will patiently wait, even though the suspense. This is so cute. What the heck? I fear it's so freaking cute. Liking that one. Good work, man. That is adorable. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. We might add that. That is cool. Alright, now things like these are really interesting to look at. These are really, really, really detailed builds. These are the type of builds where you can tell that people put a lot of thought into them. So, y'all know how we went onto Krita, and we put down that we need an inn, we need food, we need drink, we need entertainment bar, stage, everything like that. This is an example of a build that would probably go in like a, you know, a world that, you know, is made for like roleplay, or, you know, like something really that needs a lot of high detail. Okay? So freaking, they have delivery in stables, lobby, eating, sleeping, chill area, plus cart parking. They have everything figured out for the time period. Okay, it looks really simple, but there is a lot of thought that goes behind each house, okay? Since we're making something in Minecraft for the sole purpose of entertainment, as well as for people to gather, there are not a lot of requirements. The ones that we listed down are very, very, very simple. But if y'all are making something in real life, or making something for, like, say, a roleplay server, or something where, you know, it just needs to be detailed and accurate to a time period. For example, you know, you've got a mod that makes it like everyday life is from the medieval period. And you're like, oh, well, I want to build, you know, this castle from the medieval period. Okay, so what does that mod give you? Because most likely the mod gives you, like, horses, it gives you knights, it gives you servant, like, you know, it gives all these different economical, social classes, all these different things. This right here is a good example. At ZachMC_ did a really good job with this. Really good job with this. And honestly, I'm saying this as somebody who's just looking at it from an outside perspective. This is really freaking cool. Really cool. Because you can tell a lot of thought went into this. You have a delivery in stables because in that time period, they had horses. They needed a place to have that. They needed delivery because they have typically, in taverns back in the day, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. I'm pretty sure back then, sometimes taverns would make food and ship it out to people. I'm pretty sure. They had a lobby usually because they wanted to appear more high quality. It's kind of like a hotel in a way, sort of. They have eating, sleeping. It's supposed to be kind of like a hotel, but it's supposed to be more kind of like an adventurer hotel where you can, you know, come for just eating, just sleeping. But usually if you come for sleeping, you're also going to eat. Apologies, my eye is a little bit itchy. Then they also have a chill area and a cart parking, because, you know, some people are a little lightweight, some people don't really care for that type of stuff. They're here to, you know, sleep, and they don't really have anything to do in between stuff. They don't really have anywhere to go. They just like to chill. So they have chill there, and cart parking. Merchants come by, they need to, you know, quick food, drink for a coin. You know, they park their carts there. Everything like that. And they have stables to dock their horses. Very smart design. Very smart design. If y'all ever wonder, how do I become an architect? This is the type of thinking you want to get to. And, you know, you might be watching, you're like, oh my gosh, well, you know, how do I get to that type of thinking? It's all about thinking and just researching. Researching is the most important part to anything. I was told one time by an architecture company I externed with, which is basically an internship, but I don't get paid for it. Also known as job shadowing, except I did it for an extended period of time, so it's called an externship. Because job shadowing is typically 1 day or for just 1 week. This was for months at a time. Anyways, they gave me this assignment. They're like, okay, what you're gonna do is pick a spot around the city, because I drove like an hour each direction to this city in order to extern with this company. And they're like, okay, you're going to make this music hall that can support people who are like comedians, people who are local around here, and famous musicians and dance recitals, stuff like that. I actually came up with the dance recitals myself. Now, if somebody asks you to do that, it's very intimidating, especially when you have to pick something in your area specifically to make it something good. Because keep in mind, you could just pick any area, but keep in mind, whenever somebody picks an area to make a building, they're also getting rid of what was there. So I came up with a solution. I picked a parking garage in the local area, which low-key wasn't really getting the best use it could. If the city was to develop further, I saw something that could be done with it. So, what I did with it was I had 2 levels of parking decks, which I redesigned to be more efficient, since it had 1 floor on 2 sides, and then it went up another floor for the 2nd floor. I made it so it had 2 different parking areas for 2 different things, since they had kind of like shopping malls nearby. You just gotta think, how many people are going to be here? And if you don't know, then you gotta look up how many people live in this city. How often do I see this parking deck full? I had parked at this parking deck for a long time, so I was able to really understand how many people were there. I was always struggling to get a parking space. So actually what I did is I added a 3rd floor of parking, because I realized if I added a music hall to the top of this 3-decker parking deck, that it would be, interestingly enough, the perfect place to put it, and also a unique way of using space. Now, when it comes to putting things on top of each other, I know I'm yapping a lot, but this is for people who are architectural. I'll use this boost of energy to make this more coherent in a simpler sense. To think like an architect, to think like an engineer, to think about somebody who makes buildings like this, or anybody who wants to solve problems and base it off of the way humans act, you're not gonna know what the hell to do. I would have never been able to make something like this, like, probably even a month ago. Maybe even a few weeks ago. I mean, honestly, now I wouldn't have it this detailed, that's for sure, because honestly, I would probably not finish it. But it's important to research if you're like, I don't know what a museum is for. Or even if you say, oh, I know what a museum is for, you know, you go there to learn about history. That's not exactly the case. There are tons of different types of museums. For example, of course, you know, there's some tough examples out there, like the Holocaust Museum. You have museums about, like, natural disasters, tons of different museums. They all have a different way of teaching people about what's in the museum. So, the point is the whole point of what I'm trying to say is think about how people live in the space. Your designs for your buildings can be as ass as you want, but as long as you go in every time and make ass buildings while constantly thinking considerably and very intentionally about how people live in that space, you will always make a better house than somebody who has something that's a little less clunky but doesn't think about how people move. A good example of this, just to kind of nail this a bit more home, is that here, let me pull this up really quick. I don't think what is this doing? What is this doing? That is not the right thing I need. Can I pull this up? I don't think this is quite pulling up, but honestly, that's okay. I'll just show you guys. So we have all of this stuff, right? If I were to go into making a tavern just kind of right off the bat, which will do a tiny bit more gathering of stuff. This is the most lengthy process, but the more you do of this, the easier the floor plan is, I swear, guys. Usually I'd think about, you know, people coming in. You'd want a pretty decently big entrance, okay? Now, what I'm thinking right off the bat is probably something that is a bit more quaint, something that's a bit more kind of welcoming. If you want a big entrance, typically you want the space in front of you to be straight open. And especially if you have an outdoor area, you want some doors to the outside that are kind of luxurious, like, say, like double doors like that. So they can go straight on through. However, you want to intercept them before that with something interesting. So let's say we place, like, say, a bar here. We have a set of stairs here. This is not quite looking like stairs. And then you have a bit of kind of like a receptionist counter, you know, a bit of kind of what's going on here. Okay. And then what you can have is you can also add, like, say, like a stage here or something. This will draw in customers from the outside because they'll walk by and they'll see this. You can also have a road here, which you can have a kitchen in the back over here, which will make the smells go out and also attracting customers this way, which will then turn the corner to see the stage, which will attract them in based on the noise. It's all about psychology. How can you psychologically get people to come here? And honestly, guys, I'm not even gonna lie with you, it is the stupidest thing ever. You'll be sitting at a computer giggling over some stupid building that you've been trying to make work for 10 hours straight, but it's so fun for no reason. That is architecture to me. That is architecture to me. Okay? And this is not proportionate at all. This is not proportionate at all. It's just the basic, like, we call them bubble sketches for where everything is. Okay? Okay? The bar being next to the kitchen isn't a bad idea. Okay, it isn't a bad idea. The kitchen can come out here. They can reach pretty much anyone. The only issue with putting a kitchen here, as opposed to someplace more central, is that it'll be a bit harder to get over to the tables over here. However, since it is a bit more of a quaint little bar, like I said in the beginning, it will not be an issue, because the space between here and here might be at most 20 feet, which means it is probably around like maybe 7-8 paces. It depends on how long your legs are. If y'all are short, RIP gang. That's all I have to say to you. We're gonna have tons of tables over here, you know, tons of people over here that are enjoying the stage. Also some people over here who maybe are a bit more quiet. They just kind of want to dine over here and then maybe kind of leave after a little while. Maybe also people who are planning to go upstairs and sleep after all of this is done. Now what you can also have is, say that this is your first floor. Say that this is my first floor that I'm making. And this is totally just out of my ass, bro, okay? Like, I pooped this out like a mama bird on Easter, or a bunny on Easter. Let's say we have that same staircase, which looks actually a decent bit better. That goes all the way up here, okay? Staircases, from what people have said, and I've learned this a lot more recently, staircases are meant to be a part of a building and not hidden away. The only reason you want a staircase hidden away is for space reasons. However, you should always, and I mean always, in commercial spaces, have your staircase open if it is not in a stairwell, unless there are some extenuating circumstances. That is a hot take, and I know there's exceptions to that, but that is a general rule to follow. For example, if I had this blocked off down here, let me get close so you guys can see this. If I had this blocked off down here, these people would feel more private, but they would feel so cramped as they went up. Since this is a quaint little building, they would feel super cramped as they went up. And imagine as you went up, you can't see who's about to come down from here. You need to have that space open, so first off, you can see everything that's going on down below you. Makes people feel more secure. Ironically, you think the tighter spaces would make people feel better. It makes them feel a lot worse. And just like I said, staircases are meant to show off the place. They're meant to be vantage places that are strategically placed. Now, if you'll notice, I did something kind of fun with the staircase. I placed it right here, right to where this outside area is. I also placed the kitchen here so it can get into the inside and also straight into the outside. There is a reason for everything. If they want a break area, they can have it right over here where it's kind of blocked off from the people. There is always a reason for everything, okay? And I didn't have a reason for that break area. I didn't have a reason for that door, for those doors. That's just my subconscious brain naturally planning in advance and my experience. Okay, that's just the experience. And sometimes it's also just luck and then recognizing, oh, that was a lucky thing for me to do. You can have tons of stuff outside, tons of stuff like this. Now, this is one of the issues I have, one of the flaws I have in my design. I have a bar here and a kitchen here, and I have a stage here. However, these people over here cannot see the stage. So usually what I'd do is I'd move the kitchen so it's over on this side. Ironically, that would actually be something that would be kind of better. They can reach all of these tables so much more easily, as well as the bar very easily, while still reaching the outside. If the outside is right here, then I can have some big windows that they can see the stage still. It is quite a more simpler design, so let's go with that, okay? Let's go with that. Alright, now for this over here, this can overlook the outside as well as the inside. That's the beauty of stairs, okay guys? Yes, and I said the beauty of the stairs, alright? You can have a balcony overlooking this whole area where the bar is. The bars are not meant to look huge. Everything you'll see in these, let me find, Tavern interior. Everything you'll see with taverns on the interior has these kind of open areas and then has these more kind of like closed in areas, and consistently where the closed in areas are right where the bar is. And that is always because they have a bunch of storage they need. It feels more homey, and it's also where they mix a lot of their beverages. So they need a lot of storage, okay? There is a reason behind everything. So if we want to put a balcony for people to sit so they get that kind of regal thing, you know, maybe they pay more for it, put it above the bar. Put it above the bar. Now the question is, where does the next flight of stairs go to get to the next stuff? It's going to go here, okay? And I'll tell you why. There is no other place for it to go, chat. And it's also right above the kitchen. It's right above the kitchen. There's quite literally not any other better place for it to go. So that's pretty much the second floor. Okay, chat, that's pretty much the second floor. Looks a little crazy, doesn't it? Yes, that is the point. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. That is quite literally the point. Now, let's say we have this area where people go up to the third floor. Okay. Obviously, based on how many crazy, erratic little tables I've drawn, there's quite a decent amount of people coming to this bar. I mean, to this tavern, okay? However, each table is at typically, for taverns, I assume it's bigger, probably around 5 feet, but an average dinner table is 3.5 feet to 4 feet. At least that's kind of what I've seen in, you know, what are they called, blocks in architecture, like programs like AutoCAD, Revit, and stuff like that, which are basically architectural software programs. As well as in real life, I was measuring my dining table the other day. I was like, huh, because it was 4 feet, and I thought it was 3.5 feet. It was 4 feet, and I was honestly kind of happy about that because we get a lot of visitors sometimes, so it's good to have a larger dining table. However, if we assume that each one of these dining tables is approximately, say, like 4 feet wide, 4 feet wide diameter is what I'm trying to say. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Each table from end to end needs to be 7 feet spaced out. It needs to be at least 4 feet from the wall because the chair space behind it needs to have at least 3 feet behind it, which is probably going to be around 3 to 2 blocks, although probably 3 blocks based on how we're going. So, let's say there's 4 feet, another 4 feet, 8 feet, plus 7 feet, 15, plus 4 feet, 19, 26, 30, 37, 41, and then you have the break between this table and the other table. This is a lot of math, I'll explain it in a second. 37 is what I said. 37. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 4 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Okay, I did think it was 41, but I totally second-guessed myself. So glad I did that. Probably around 8 feet here, just because that's a good thing to go. Actually, I'll just make it 10 feet. So let's say 51. Actually, let's just make it 6 now that I think about that. That's probably a bit better. 47, and then pretty much just the same logic. So we have 47, that's 51, and then we have 4 over here, 55. Stairs are 2 blocks wide. What was that, 57? So 59. This is around 59 blocks across. Actually, no, it's more about 61 blocks across because these stairs are also 2. So we have 61 blocks across. Let me just. Why is this vaping ad always the one? I hate this girl. Not actually, but she does peeve me really bad. Because every time I'm trying to freaking do anything, there's always some girl talking to me about vapes and stuff. Anyways, I digress. Pretty much. Let's say this is like, what, 61 blocks across, okay? Big tavern, but considered kind of medium quaint sized, okay? Kind of quaint, if you consider. It's not quaint. I'm lying. So in architecture, the biggest thing is just, I'm just thinking abstractly here. Typically, in college, what they'll make you do is they'll make you like do this whole thing. This is a Frank Lloyd Wright method. Everybody knows Frank Lloyd Wright, but honestly, I didn't, so I'm going to explain who that is. Frank Lloyd Wright is a really legendary sort of architect. He made that one really popular house in like Pennsylvania, Virginia, something like that. I have no idea. I do not know what those freaking houses or where they are like. It was on a river, pretty much. I think it's called Falling Water. Yes, I think it's called Falling Water. If y'all look it up, it is a really fascinating thing. He talks about how he thought about everything. The main point of what he does is it's all very intercoursed with nature. A lot of what he does is with nature, and that's because of the psychology behind it. If anybody's into psychology, seriously give architecture a try. If you don't like sitting at a computer, do not give architecture a try. But if you like working with programs and you're also okay with people, which is probably a bit one of the harder parts, including clients as well as meetings where you sit in with people. I sat in with people at architectural companies with like plumbers, electricians, the clients. It can get heated, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie with y'all. I've been there when they sometimes get at each other's throat. And I'm not saying too much, of course, because, you know, information is classified for that type of stuff. But that's very common. Very, very common. It's not always common. Like, it doesn't happen all the time. It's normal to disagree over things, however. I'll let you guys know. A Frank Lloyd Wright method is you make a box. This is the center of your house. He always likes to put a fireplace here, so let's just pop that there. And then just make the most random squares, triangles, or whatever the heck that is of your life. Typically, I like to have one coming out of the top, one coming out of the right side, one coming out of the left side, and one coming out of the bottom. But this one's more going out in an angle, so you know what? We'll work with it. And let's put a circle here. Now what you do, according to Frank Lloyd Wright's method, is you make rooms out of these. Wow, guys, doesn't this look so simple? Well, what I like to do, I'm lowering the opacity because I have that, is I just trace the outside of it. I mean, it's quite simple, I fear. This is what they're gonna have architects do in college, by the way. This is quite literally what they do. So they have the outside like this, okay? And they say, make a building out of that. So what I would do is I'd find shapes that are kind of present throughout. So there's a circle here. You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and do something like that. That wasn't actually too bad of a circle. I'm kind of proud of that. And then I'm also gonna find that this is kind of, you know, a bit of a rectangle. Don't be afraid to let them overlap, by the way. You're just kind of finding areas that kind of make sense for, you know, a bit of, you know, squares, rectangles, circles, etc. Now, the thing is, again, what he likes to do is, like I said, he likes to have a fireplace and everything. So what I'm gonna do, where all these points meet, I'm just gonna smack a fireplace right there. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna put it a bit on an angle, because that seems like a bit of an interesting thing to work with. Okay, so now let's say we have a fireplace here. The obvious entrance could be here. You can also have an entrance here. You can have an entrance here and have a fireplace here, and then this is a bit more of an open area. But usually, typically, Frank Lloyd Wright's houses, they always enter into a living room. They usually have this type of grand entrance into them. There's one house where he has like these kind of, they're not necessarily cramped, but like stairs that are kind of secluded, and then they open up into this beautiful house. It's really interesting. Let me show you guys actually the Hollyhock house. It's really interesting. This is in Los Angeles, chat. If y'all are in Los Angeles, I'm so jealous. He is so gorgeous with his work. It looks like a very typical house, and the thing that makes his work so interesting is not the fact that it's extravagant or spectacular. It's the fact that he thinks about psychology so, and like physics and everything. When you look at a house at any time of day, it looks like it belongs in a Pinterest board, and that's because he literally took, I'm pretty sure it was this house, he took this house and, no, it wasn't him. It was somebody who was wondering how he made this house. What they did was they created a 3D model of it in something like AutoCAD, Revit, and they did a whole 365-day simulation of where the sun would fall, and realized that each day it had a new pattern that would appear. Not pattern as in, you know, oh my gosh, I can tell it's a bird, or oh my gosh, I can tell it's a dog, but pattern as in it would always be lighted slightly differently to provide a different and unique mood to the room. It has a bunch of different cool features in it, like these hollyhocks which are on the side. It just has all of this detail, love, and care. Let me show you guys the chairs that are in there. So the chairs that are actually in this house only have, I thought they only had 3 legs, but maybe I was mistaken. So, okay, well anyways, the chairs in this house are really fascinating. They have this tall back, which extends all the way to the floor. They don't have legs in the back. They just literally, like if you took a piece of plywood and placed it on the back of the chair all the way up, it was supposed to promote good posture. And, you know, it's like, oh, okay, you know, that's just from the time. No, that was something specifically his client wanted. And, you know, it is so funny to me. It is so funny to me. Because freaking imagine going to some place that does like custom furniture and be like, yo man, I want some custom furniture for everything. For my client and everything. Like, bro, funny is so much. Me right now, I've never studied architecture in my life. Heck yeah! Write it down, write it down. Also, welcome to the chat. It is so fascinating, dude. So fascinating. Look at this gigantic fireplace. Now I have a lot of opinions about this fireplace. This is the pinnacle of architecture, not the pinnacle. However, it is a good stepping stone to getting to the pinnacle. A huge stepping stone. I will let you guys know. Oh, this man is so genius. Oh my gosh. Frank Lloyd Wright window heating up. Oh, how do I even word this? Wall physics. I really hope it understands. I really hope it understands. Yes, I think it is. I think it is. So, fun fact. I thought for the longest time that windows actually made houses lose heat. I thought they would make them lose heat. However, isn't too bad of an example. But okay, let me just go through this a bit on Krita instead. So, fun fact, this is like a whole, like, I bet like HVAC students, like heating, ventilation, air conditioning, all of them go through this. There is a whole thing. If you have a window here, ignore my window. This window, somebody has tried to break into it. It has a few dents in it. It's okay. The sun is here, okay? Fun fact, if you're in the northern hemisphere, the sun rises in the east to the west, but the sunlight comes from the south. That's why, check the direction of your house right now. I will bet you literal money, but not that much because I'm broke in Hypixel Skyblock, that hopefully you have some protection from the south as you're coming into your house, because that is where the sun comes from if you're in the northern hemisphere, aka the north of the equator. If you're south of the equator in the southern hemisphere, it comes from the north, and that's because the sun travels directly across the equator. If you're on the equator, the sun will go directly above you. If you're more to the north, it'll be more angled to the south, which is why typically sunroofs are more to the south in the northern hemisphere, and they're more to the north in the southern hemisphere. Windows do not lose heat. They do not lose heat. In fact, they give a lot of heat. I saw this diagram. I'm 95% sure I saw this from my boy Frank Lloyd Wright. I swear I did, chat. I'm not a liar. There was this wall suspended in the air. And there was, like, say, a living room here with all, like, this fancy furniture and everything. All this fancy furniture, okay? That is the shittiest sofa I've ever seen. Good God. This is the Hollyhock house, okay? This is the Hollyhock house. On a budget is what it is, okay? On a freaking budget. Wow, look at that gorgeous. Oh my God. Wow, this is why I'm an architecture student and not an interior design student. That is horrendous. The sun heats up the air that sits at the bottom. You know how they say cold air sinks, hot air rises? Since windows take in so much heat, if you live in a cold area, your building might literally utilize this method by having like tons of windows facing the south. The heat will hit at an angle like this, which goes to the area at the bottom, makes it heat up, go up here, and then release back into the house. Now, what I would do is I'd also have an area that kind of leads up into here, or I'd have airflow that goes outside to here, so when it gets too hot, they can open a window. But excuse me, if it's cold, this hot air will then come into the top of the room and push out the cold air to the bottom. Therefore, it starts the cycle of heating your house naturally. This is why people back in the day of like medieval times and everything, a lot of people always, super hot, super cold, whatever. This is a method because they had to think about this. They didn't have, HVAC. That's why it's so expensive, guys. It's freaking this. This is so complicated. Of course they'd want to make some HVAC because who wants to do this in their house? But it is fascinating nonetheless because you can include small things like that in your house, okay? All of this are examples of how architecture works. The reason why Frank Lloyd Wright is considered such a genius is because he understood physics, psychology, and similar things, which is why people love architecture. That's why I love architecture. Catering to somebody and their, psychological needs. I talked to this fabulous person one time when I was externing, again, unpaid internship, with the company, and he was telling me, because he was looking over something I made, and he said, well, did you think about, people who can't move as easily in the space, or people who are in a rush, or people like this? And honestly, I love critique. Yeah, it hurts when somebody critiques my work, but dude, it is such a shortcut. I don't know if I'm Alexander Hamilton reincarnated as a teenage girl who he'd probably cuss out, because I don't know. I don't know how he treated women, because, all I know is the freaking musical, because I'm a theater kid, supposedly, but I digress. I love this stuff. This is so fascinating, and look at the way he designed this, okay? I hope that whoever lives in this house, or lived in this house, because it's like historical now, did not break any of their legs. Because do you see how many stairs this man uses in his houses? Do you see? He uses so freaking many everywhere. Dude, you break your ankles, you're fried. You're cooked. You can't even have the good posture on the freaking chairs anymore. This is actually a really open room, I just realized. Look, they're literally everywhere. Do not get Frank Lloyd Wright to design you a house, which he kind of can't, but, you know, don't do that. Oh, this is the house. I have one more thing. Okay, I know I've been yapping about this. There is one more fascinating thing about this house that I need to show you guys. When he was making this house, he included a lot of these very interesting kind of like glass doors that also function as windows that you can open. Now, it reminds me a bit about Hawaii, or Hawaii is what they call it there, but Hawaii, you know, whatever you call it pretty much. They have these really interesting windows. Let me pull up kind of Hawaii houses. Hawaii, I don't know why I say it like that. That's weird. House windows. They have like, and they have these in like Florida too, but you'll see them a lot in Hawaii. So take a look at this. The climate on these islands is so, not necessarily perfect, but it's so predictable, I guess, in a sense, that they have open air. Now, typically, they sometimes have screens too. Sometimes. However, I'm really lucky. I have a parent that has a good job and it's in travel. So I'm able to travel to these places, which of course, you know, oh my god, imagine taking a kid like me around the world to go see all these architecture shits. She constantly talks to me. She's like, I have never seen such a stupid kid focus on something so passionate before. She's like, you know what, you're gonna do great things, but I want you to know you're like the stupidest kid. she's like, you're the stupidest kid because you don't turn in your work. But the second it comes to a building, I see you over there like deviously tapping together your toes like you're about to, you know, like come up with some devious plan. Literally my toes, bro. Literally my toes. But you'll see these really fascinating open air concepts. Open air concept Hawaii. Let's see. So yeah, literally, chat, that does not have panels. Or actually it might. Open air design. No, that does not have panels. That is quite literally a window without the pane. Okay? This is a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen in somebody's house. On a beachfront that just, it doesn't have freaking doors. Now, I assume it has something that pulls out here. You can obviously tell something pulls out. But the point is that they just keep that like that. You know, there's places, and the place I live, we have a lot of critters, okay? The critters mainly on Hawaii, depending on where you are, they have a bunch of freaking roosters. Okay, a bunch of roosters, a bunch of stray cats. Unfortunately, a large homeless population. It's very sad. They have a lot of these guys, okay? So imagine seeing this thing in your freaking, on your fan blades, eating the decorative fruit over here, on your freaking island, on your coffee table. This is where all of these roosters are gonna be. They're gonna go with their like harem of all the chickens, or the hens. Yeah, the hens. All of them just sitting on here as a stray cat just lounges around. They don't even eat the chickens. They'll be begging for food and they don't even eat the chickens. I'm like, bro, if you want some food, it's 2 feet away from you, and there's a big plump one right there based on the way I'm seeing him, just practically round. No wonder the girls like him. Obviously, he's getting well fed. If I was a hen, I'd be like, hey man, where you getting your food at? Mainly just because I'm big. But they have these really lush green things. And he did this with his hollyhock house, in a sense. With all of these, except it was in Los Angeles. It can get a bit hot. So, of course, you know, it's also mainly for ventilation, which is what I'm getting to. This house was designed in such an intricate way that it literally was based on the winds. Like, the wind currents of what was going through there. Now, if I'm not looking it up, obviously, because I don't want to get I don't want to dox myself, because thank God I haven't done that yet. I've doxed random places, but I haven't doxed myself, thank gosh. But freaking, this house took into, he literally went, I assume, went to the site and judged, okay, which way's the wind blowing? Okay, then I'll have windows going from the direction the wind is blowing, so if it gets too hot, you just open up the windows and you have a cool stream of air coming through. Like, what? Like, this is the type of thinking that everybody would assume. You know, like, not everybody, like, obviously, you know, people don't think about how much goes into architecture, and that's what I love about it. Like, I'm not sitting here being like, oh my god, well, you don't understand how hard my job is. Like, of course, like, I mean, bro doesn't want to become an architect. Like, of course they don't. Like, and I don't understand how hard an engineer's job is. Like, what the hell is that logic? Like, that's the whole point. I do it to learn how hard it is so other people don't have to. But I let them know what I go through because it's cool to talk about. It is cool to yap about. Okay? So freaking, he takes these freaking doors, lays them out all throughout the house in this open floor concept, which, by the way, was kind of like new back then, in order to have this airflow to cool down the house in the summer. So cool. So cool. I love this. This is so cool. And keep in mind, too, you know how I said how he has his fireplace, like, in the middle of his house? When you have something in the center of your house, it is not only the centerpiece, but it also helps give heat all around it. When you have something in the middle of your house that generates heat, it's naturally going to have the coziest place in the center of the house, which is already going to be the hottest place in the center of the house, which will then make it spread faster, the heat, I mean, rather than it being on one side of the house. If you had a house, like here, let me have an example. Let me give an example here. Let's say you had a wall in the middle here. If you place your fireplace here, it's going to take a long time to reach over here. Same if you put it in any other corner. If you put it here, it's going to be hard to get past this wall over here. So what we do is we put the fireplace here. Now you might be like, oh, but how is it going to get to this side? It will actually be hot enough to heat up the other side of this wall pretty quickly. And, you know, there's also tons of methods you could do, like have a bunch of windows here. You know, maybe this is the south, so you have a bunch of windows here. There are a bunch of methods to circumvent it. However, it is much better to have a wall here and a fireplace here and then have to find some other way to heat this up, rather than having it in a corner. It is much worse, which is why you put it in the middle, okay? A lot of houses... Oh, whoops. A lot of houses nowadays that you'll see, and this includes mine, have a lot of nonsensical hallways. It's just the suburban style, okay? I'm trying to make a bit more of Frank Lloyd's design, honestly. That's kind of what I'm kind of trying to bring about, you know? Hallways have a good amount of purposes. They help separate spaces, they help connect spaces, they also help with kind of giving a bit more of a suburban kind of homey vibe, you know? And they also help for getting to certain places that are a bit more detached, like say a garage or a laundry room, stuff like that. But if I can, I always like to have a center part of my house and then no hallways. And the main reason is, number one, you save a lot of money. This is a time of period. You do not want to waste a lot of money on your house. My teacher told us she made a house with a garage and a building on top, $20 a square foot. Now, I know you guys are like, that sounds like it's pretty impressive, but what the heck does that mean? Okay, let's do some math, okay? Except I'm doing the math. Typically, at least around where I live, the average square foot cost per square foot, which a square foot is a squared foot. It's 1 foot by 1 foot squared because you're timing it by itself. That's an algebraic term. If you don't know what that is, no worries. It's just basically you take 1 foot, you place it horizontal, and then from the corner of that, you place a 1 foot vertical. And then if you trace lines from the edges of them together, you make a square. That's a square foot, okay? $150 minimum for one of those things. Chat, do you know how big a square foot is? Let me show you. This is bigger. This is like bigger than a foot. Okay? This pencil right here, I'm just gonna show you guys. This pencil right here, bigger than a foot. okay? Or it's like, I don't know, it might be about a foot, actually. 2 of these. I can't fit in that. You can't fit in that. Your pet cat actually might be able to fit in that, but I think it would start screaming at you if you forced it to live in that area. $150 for that. And my teacher said, guys, I got it for $20 a square foot. What? Fun fact, if you take something that's 1,500 square feet, which is about the size of a small suburban family home, and times it by 20, that would only be a $30,000 house. If you times it by 150, it shoots up to $225K. Now let's do the math here. If we minus this by 30K, my teacher, if she went by around 1,500 square foot, she saved $195,000. Now, chat, I'm not saying this just because I don't know how it works. I'm saying it because I'm gonna tell you how to do this. Because she gave me that little information. Because low-key, I asked her, I was like, hey, if I build my own house, will you help me labor? Will you help me build it? And she was like, hell yeah, kid. She's not. I'm gonna be making that thing when she's like 70. When she told us how old she was, I was like, damn. Because she looks like she's in her 30s. She said she's like in her 50s or 60s. I was like, girl, like, keep lifting your weights, because, like, she's good at what she does. Damn, I love her. I'm gonna miss her, man. I'm about to graduate. But freaking, if I wanted a mansion, let's see, average square footage of a mansion. I'm teaching you guys, the housing crisis is bad, but you can work around it, and I'm gonna give you some advice here, okay? Just as somebody who has access to these people, and I know other people don't, so I'm sharing this with you, okay? We're sharing my architecture teacher. We have 8,000 square feet. That is the smallest mansion size, according to Google. If we did $20 a square foot, that is only $160K. Now, that is glorified. For a mansion, it would be more expensive, way more expensive. You would have to be very frugal to do that. However, it is possible, if you really wanted to do that, you could quite literally do that. It's possible, okay? I'm teaching you guys, this is possible. The biggest issue about this entire thing is land. No matter what you do, land is expensive, guys. Land is really expensive. You've got to save up at least 50K for land, and most of the time, it's not going to be connected to electricity, water, heating, stuff like that. Well, heating, you know, you get the point. Oh, sewer. That's what I was going to go with instead of that. But anyways, that's a whole nother ballpark in itself. Usually at least 150 for all that, from what I've heard around my area. That's might be a bit more on like the expensive or less expensive side. I'm not too sure about that one. However, you can make a house for cheap, guys. I'm not gonna lie. The main problem is just land. It really is. Now, the biggest thing is, you know, as somebody who's, you know, Gen Z, I know a lot of people who watch these streams, millennials, Gen Z, mainly Gen Z. I think I've only had like 1 or 2 millennials on the stream, but they were really close to the Gen Z mark. The housing crisis in America, sorry, my bad, I should have been clarifying that this entire time, I forgot. The housing crisis in America, a lot of people are, you know, worried about it. A lot of people stuff like that. My personal opinion on it, I do think it is going to be frustrating to get a house nowadays. Mainly because of Airbnb, all the people buying up real estate. It's like, even like places like McDonald's, they do it for the real estate usually, not necessarily the food money. Like, you know, they buy the best spots in town and, you know, up and up and up their value. That's why their food is so cheap. They don't really get too much money off of that. They get money off of the real estate instead. So, that's something my teacher taught me in physics. That's what he taught me. I should have paid more attention to that class. But we learned about, like, electric currents. I should have paid attention to that. You know, a big part about architecture, too, I'm going to build off of what Frank Lloyd Wright had. Because Frank Lloyd Wright had a great concept for everything he had. But now that we have all of these different things called electricity and HVAC, and not needing all these freaking doors and windows, which honestly I'll probably keep. Especially with an economic crisis, you know, in case one happens. I'm not saying one is going to happen, but My purpose as an architect is prepare for anything and always be prepared for anything. So, you prepare for anything, okay, chat? You prepare for anything. I also love this freaking fireplace. I don't know what inspired him to make this, but it's really good for preventing fires. So honestly, good job, Frank Lloyd Wright. I'm proud of you, little man. I'm proud of you, little man. Oh god, if I would give anything to meet this guy. God, I would give like all of my kidneys to this guy. All 2 of them to this guy. Jeez, I just want to know. I want to know what's going through his head. And look at this. It's so pretty. Like literally the lighting. That's like, look at how minimal lighting he uses, and he uses so much of the nature. Like, I think that's just what's so beautiful about it. Chat. I'm going to admit to you guys why I've been yapping about this so long. Yes, we've gotten a bit off task. However, what I'm saying is very, 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 very important for anybody who does want to do architecture and stuff like that. I will let you guys know, my goal as an architect is to get my own firm to make kind of houses like Frank Lloyd Wright did, where he made, like, you know, houses custom for people. I also want to make commercial places like that too, though. But unfortunately, it's a lot more of a different style from this if y'all are into this style nowadays, which is why I'm going to not question the r/ on that. Reddit is so weird sometimes. I just realized that and I was like, oh, I might want to get off of that. Nowadays, we don't do hand drafting. I know a lot of architecture, like literally when you look up architecture, watch this, watch this. If I can spell architecture, you'll see, like, you know, tons of buildings, and then you'll see somebody with a pencil drawing. We do not do that anymore in the biz, okay, guys? We might. I mean, from what I've seen, I have not heard of a single place that does that, unless it's, like, specifically, you know, like, I don't know, maybe people pay extra because they want something like that, or maybe they offer it as, like, you know, a coupon or something. I do not see people doing this anymore, unless they're, like, I don't know, maybe they printed out one of their plans and they're just marking up on it, but they don't actually, like, draw the walls and everything. But they might, and I just haven't been told that, but I've asked before and they say no. So I'm assuming it's a no. But, dude, if there's any architects in the chat, please prove me wrong, and then I'll know you're here, and then I can interrogate you. Love it, love it, love it. I'm literally that annoying kid that harasses everybody. I have sent out so many emails, bro. Oh my god. I actually heard that there was one architecture firm I missed in my local area, and I almost crashed out of joy, not hate, joy, because I was literally... I was so sad. I was like, no, I have no more architecture firms to go to. I've already harassed all of them. And then I hear the top 3 architecture firms in your county. And I look, and I know 2 of them. But actually, funnily enough, the one that's at number 1, I don't know it. And I'm like, oh! So my newest victim has arrived. Although I kind of want to go and check out construction and stuff too. You know, I think another way to improve what Frank Lloyd Wright has given me, as in, you know, like inspiration, seeing how everything works. God, it's such a beautiful building. God. Chat, I'm not gonna lie, if a building was a person, I would fall in love with it so fast. Like, specifically... God, is that weird to say? But, like, the craftsmanship, the beauty, like, everything behind it is so... It's so gorgeous. Like, look at the dark wood and, like, all the thought. Wow. Just wow! It's so cool! God, I'm like a simp, but instead of like anime girls that are underage and they constantly get their clothes taken off, it's just a house, and you know, it's actually a healthy thing, because it's just a severe admiration. It's not actually anything weird. Freaking chaotic. Also, why am I getting, oh, are these hollyhock flowers? They're really pretty. Oh, and by the way, the reason it's called a hollyhock house is because the person he made this house designed for, she loved hollyhocks. Oh, wait, actually, let me see if I can pull up the floor plan. Yes! Sorry, I got a little excited. I love the floor plans that he makes. Okay, okay, the floor plans are so good. Oh wait, okay, I need to get a larger one. I need to get a larger one, chat. I need to get okay. Look at this magnificent thing. Look at it. Look at how absolutely gorgeous. So, this is really hard to understand, and that's understandable. The main thing is that it's from a different time period, much different standards for living. It makes sense. Kennels, I assume for horses or dogs. I think it's for horses because they just, I don't know, they just look like they're for horses. I don't know, chat. I don't know, chat. I don't know what kennels are. Hey, we don't have them nowadays, I swear. He uses, interestingly enough, not the fireplace in the middle of the house, but rather he makes it a courtyard and a loggia of sorts. This type of centerpiece which focuses more around nature. Now I'm going to draw y'all's attention to, can I zoom in? Please allow me to zoom in. Inspect it. Oh wait, that's not what I know. That's not what I meant to do. I wonder if that included any of my personal information. Oh wow. Let's see, images, wallpaper, image, open. I want to zoom in. Is that possible? Easy setup. I don't want a theme. Thank you. Alright, well anyways. Now it's hard to see. You come in through this walkway that's kind of private up into the entry. You have a powder room right here because you always, if you ever design a building, especially, these floor plans are perfect for The Sims. That's all the building experience you have. LOL. Real! So real, dude. That's me, except it's Bloxburg before the capitalist update. Gosh. Gosh. No, but seriously, dude. Imagine this shit being in The Sims. I'm just saying. That would be so cool. So freaking cool. And I bet somebody's made it, too. Actually, let's see. Hollyhock House in The Sims. Oh my god. Chat. Let's check this out. I'm muting it because they might have something. Ignore all of my nerdy interests on the side, please, everybody. Everybody, please. It's unimportant. Wow, look at that. Gosh. It's just... I don't know why I feel this way, but like every time I see this house, it's like a part of me melts. And then like I just feel like so, like I'm witnessing a god come down from the heavens and like bless me with I don't know, like my eyes or something. Ooh, and they have something. So this style is called the California Romanza. Everybody go subscribe to Jessimer Sim Queen. They did the research! So good. Yeah, the Hollyhock House. This was built in 1918 and 1920, guys. This is actually probably really good house. During, like, all of the issues that went on in the 1900s. Which, by the way, guys, a lot. All the hills covered in gardens, surrounded by views of the Hollywood Hills. Yes, yes. Has quite good hills. Gosh, it's so pretty. See how open air it is, too? Like, they have these walkways that are really sturdy. I mean, you have earthquakes and stuff around, so it kind of makes sense why it has such a sturdy base. But I bet it doesn't have as good as an earthquake technology as we do nowadays. Although it might. It might. I could be underestimating him. I bet I am underestimating him. But you see how fascinating all of his shapes are. Yeah, garden. Yeah, okay. Tons of stuff. Gosh, it's just so beautiful. The geometric hollyhock is a Frank Lloyd Wright design. Very true. The Hollyhock House is the first UNESCO World Heritage Site in Los Angeles, California. Yeah, it is. It is. The house is... Like, look at the Sim. What is she doing over? She's making a hollyhock. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that's actually a really good example of what it looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Wow, it's just gorgeous. It's so smart. The way it's laid out is just, it's just genius. Absolutely genius. It goes straight into human nature. So let me show you guys again how architects would look at this and why this is such... Hold on, my Undertale music just paused. Actually, I need to skip this because I'm pretty sure it's copyrighted. I'm so sorry. I love you, Undertale. No, I'm not answering your stupid question. All right, let's see. Guys, this is such a wonderful layout. I always, and I mean I always try to design a building like this. I really always do. But he does it so perfectly. And let me show you guys what I mean. I gain such a big appreciation for this the more I learn about everything. People come in right here. I really wish I need to get a bigger thing of this so y'all can see better, because it's going to be complicated what I'm trying to explain. So let me save this image really quick. Halu, yep, that's close enough. I still don't know why I have a picture of James Madison. But you know what, we're just gonna roll with it. We're just gonna roll with it. Okay? So let's pull this up, okay, chat? Let's pull this up. Okay, actually, wait, let me make that just a tiny bit smaller. Now, some of these terms I don't exactly understand, like a dry moat. I guess that's just for rainfall or just something interesting. Also, it's probably a bit of a stylistic choice. So, chat, let's go through this, okay? Let's go through this. So, the main thing behind this, and the main reason why it's kind of laid out like this. Let me actually put this on Krita, actually. I'm just realizing how bad all of that is, just to kind of put there. Hold on. And also, let me just turn off my display capture really quick so I can put this into Krita without showing everybody every single file I own on this computer, because good lord. Alright. Insert as new layer. Perfect. Perfect. Let me show y'all seriously how much I appreciate this house, because I think y'all will appreciate it by the end I'm done talking. I seriously think you will. It's a challenge, honestly, guys. It's a challenge. Alright, let me show you guys this. So this is what we're working with here. It's a little bit pixelated, to be expected. It's a bit hard to see. The entrance is over here. Okay, you enter through here. Now, a big part of everything I do, in every single design I have a bathroom really close by to your entry. Have you ever had, I'm specifically going to call out moms here, but dads, children, excuse me, anybody can do it, but typically a lot of mothers do this. I need to pee. I'll hold it till we get home. Whoop, whoop, straight into the bathroom as you come in. Okay? Again, it's all about psychology of humans. They typically like to wait until a break to pee. So, it considers a break of getting home, so you put the bathroom right next to the entry so they can quickly use it. As well as think of, here's the fun part, guests coming into the house. They want a sort of beautiful entry to be impressed. They have a logia right here to look into. They can fix whatever they want over here. Guests go straight into the dining room. The bathroom is conveniently right beside it, so, you know, if you're like, oh, I need to touch up something, you know, man needs to fix his tie, woman needs to fix her tie, I don't fucking know, you know, whatever the hell you want to do with your freaking clothes and your freaking appearance, you have a powder room to go pee in, okay? Right on your way to going to the dining room. Super nice concept, easy access to the kitchen. Very nice. Very nice. They have, of course, these, like, counters and, you know, everything like that. They're slightly out of the way, so you just kind of see farther into the kitchen, which is kind of a nice touch, honestly. Kind of gives this kind of long feel to the hallway, but it also kind of gives a bit of privacy with not having it super open. So, let's say you have, like, a table here. They have windows here and everything. Now, keep in mind, you know how I said the airflow? There is a constant, and I mean a constant amount of airflow through this entire house. Notice how there's pillars here? These all have window panes in between them that come open. So the wind can come in through here. It can go in through here, go in through here. It can go all the way through the house, because while it might hit a bit of issues here, since this is a logia, it'll just go straight through here. Which is actually probably a bit good, because it won't go really into this area as much, which is the nursery. You don't really want too much there. And it'll also go up to the pool a bit, which isn't too bad of an idea for a nice warm day, you know, not too bad. Now, a good news too is that, of course, back then they had a bit more of, like servant culture, like maids, nurses, butlers, stuff like that. Complete access to the kitchen, as well as to the courtyard when they get pissed off at each other. Go take a chill pill in the courtyard, guys. They also have access to the nursery. Very nice, because, a lot of times servants also need to go to the nursery and do stuff. They have bathrooms right there on the way and everything. Storage rooms over here right on the way to the pool, which can hold towels. They're also right next to the towels, because typically back then, too, they'd like to clean the backs of, whoever owns the house. Stuff like that. There's a patio over here. You have a kid in their nursery? Take them out on the patio where it's a nice day so they can calm down as you're rocking them and everything. If you need to go to the bathroom to change the kid, there's a bathroom right here. If you need to go to the bathroom while you're chilling in the library, there's a bathroom right there. Now you'll see there is an interesting thing that is present in this that I'll show you guys right now. There's what's called a working space and a chilling out space, okay? This is the chilling out space, or more exactly, it's kind of more like this, okay? This is the chilling out space, okay? You have spaces where you relax in. You don't necessarily do work in, unless, of course, you're cleaning up your garden. These are places meant to relax you. And that includes bathrooms, because, you feel much better after you take a big, fat, stinky duke, okay, guys? You sit on the patio to calm down, you go to the library to read books, you go to the living room to have fun, music, to, have fun and stuff. It's interesting that it's by the entrance. I think that's something I don't understand based on their time period. It might be some way to entertain guests, and that's probably a reason why it's there. But not only do they have these areas based off of living spaces and more kind of active spaces, dining room, you're actively eating, kitchen, you're actively eating, servers' quarters, they're actively preparing for something, or they're sleeping. It's more work-based. The pool, the nursery, a bit more kind of chill. But for the servants, it's more kind of a working area, so it depends on what perspective you're looking at. Whether the chill space is more something like this, or it's a bit more something like this, depending on what you're looking at here. Okay, although I don't know if the nursery is considered a relaxing place for either group of people, to be honest. Not only do they have them based on relaxing and everything, they also have them based on how you entertain guests in the privacy. This is more private areas, while this is more public areas. I have to go now, but thanks for streaming. I thoroughly enjoyed learning. Of course, thank you for joining in. I appreciate that. I love talking about this. If you can't tell, I'm a yapper, bro. Such a yapper. Down here, you have the public areas. Like I said, you have guests come in, they go to the dining room, they fix up their makeup, they go out into the courtyard sometimes, but usually that's a bit more of a private thing. You'd usually have them in the living room. You have a public pool. Chat. There are multiple pools for a reason. Okay? For a reason. That is because this is more of a... Oh, thank you. Oh my god, that scares me so bad each time. Oh, gosh, it scared me so bad. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I'll let you know, actually, if you're still here. Sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier. I'm planning to make houses like these and as YouTube videos. That's the whole point of this stream. I was planning to announce that. So I'll kind of give y'all a little thing there. I want to help people with AutoCAD as well as make my portfolio and everything. I know I mentioned it earlier, but that's the goal. That's the goal. I think honestly I'm gonna get into the college I want if I'm able to pull off stuff like this. God, it's so beautiful. God, I'm getting distracted. But this is public areas. Actually, not the library. But this is a public area where a guest would be seen, while these are a bit more of private areas where servants, specifically servants in this area, and then maybe kind of a mix over here. They would be kind of seen in that area, So yeah, they also say bathrooms above in bridge. They say, yeah, there's a bathroom here, pretty much, chat. There's a bathroom, okay? That's all you gotta know. That's all you gotta know. There's a bunch of, gosh, and this handwriting's super cool too. So cool, so cool. There are a bunch of things that go into architecture. And somebody's looking at this super daunted. I'm looking at you, perfectionists. I'm looking at the artists. I'm looking at the people who are cosplayers. I'm looking at the people who are super artistic, super perfectionists, super, you know, a lot of extracurriculars, good grades, or maybe even burnt out like me, bad grades, or not necessarily, you know, good grades like, you know, A's and B's. It is so fun to look at this shit. Okay? Yeah, I can't make a house up to this caliber. But you know, I make a house that looks better than it did, like, 2 weeks ago. Significantly. Chat, you have no idea how ass I was at making houses just earlier this year. Like, and I mean months ago. Gosh, I did so bad with this one house. Okay, this has my name on it, so I'm gonna cover it. This is, it's a little hard to see. This is the most ass thing I have ever made in my life, dude. A horrible layout. This, I'm just covering my name. This over here, I hope you guys can see this. Hold on, let me make sure I can pull this up. This over here, it's hard to see with the lighting. This is a restaurant and a kitchen. The kitchen, not too bad laid out. It's kind of ass, but you know what? It works. It works. This, absolute garbage. It's horrible. But the point is, looking at what I've been making over the past, like, month, I have never seen such fast progress. I am sitting in my AP classes watching stupid AutoCAD tutorials and classic easy mistakes people make when architecture. Fun fact, I actually learned something from my Chromebook the other day. If you have a room, always include 2 windows from 2 different sides. You can have, like, in my room there's 2 windows on one wall. They really should have put a window on the other wall too. I don't know why they did that. I guess because the bed is supposed to go against that wall. Would have helped. The reason. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys this, okay? Let me show you guys this. Where's this? Alright. Room with 1 window lighting. Check this out. Check this out. Do you guys see how harsh the lighting is here? How harsh the lighting is? The lighting is quite harsh, okay? It's very stylistic. It has a place. But does this seem like a place where you would want to sleep? Oh, everybody, pretty much now somebody might say, oh yeah, I like the style, I like the blah, blah, blah. If you slept here, psychology says you would hate it. Now, it wouldn't be too bad because you have the skylight and you have these lights. But since it's such a harsh light coming in specifically, the lighting might not make too much sense here. Since it's such a harsh light, it will make it hard for you to sleep. It will make it very hard for you to sleep. Now, if you have 2 windows, on the contrary, what happens is that if you have them on 2 different sides, let me see if I can find one with them on 2 different sides. The lighting isn't as sharp, and it's because you have lighting from 2 different sides coming in. People always prefer, and I mean this genuinely, people will always, and I don't say always lightly, guys. They will always prefer a room with 2 windows rather than 1, because 1 is intimidating because it has harsh light. Now you see, this is a good example of some soft light, okay? You have something over here too. It is a bit of harsh light on this side, but they have these windows to help kind of diffuse it, and they also have a bit of light coming in to kind of soften it a bit over here. You can kind of see this one especially gets softened. But yeah, I mean, as long as you have 2 windows, people prefer it so much more. Like, doesn't this look aesthetic, guys? If you just had it here on these 2 windows without the one on the side, I like how I'm covering it on my screen like you guys are sitting behind me watching me. It would be much harsher. It would not give that kind of soft brunch, sunset, evening vibe it does, okay? It would not. This is a good example of something that looks really, really cute. Really cute sunset vibe. It has multiple different windows. It works well. I always think it works best when you have windows that are on 2 different sides, like say one on this wall, one on this wall. It's harder to do with kitchens, okay? It's harder to do with kitchens. And depending on if you have big windows in your house, you can get away with it. The floor plan that I briefly showed earlier only had 1 window in the kitchen. My reasoning for that, I have a fireplace centered in the middle of my wall. And it has gigantic windows on either side. It has technically 2 windows on each side. The only reason why it doesn't have a window right there is because it's such an open floor concept. It does not have another wall for a window to go on. Also space constraints, and also I already have met the 2 window requirement. So it works perfectly. It works quite literally perfectly, chat. So good. But yeah, like it's see harsh light is a really good aesthetic, but it's not a very good aesthetic for like say like a bedroom or something calming, because you want something a bit more kind of gradient wise. That's something I just learned like literally a few days ago. Like in my floor plan, I have rooms that only have 1 window right now, and I'm currently changing them because that's something I didn't even realize until it hit me, and I was like, oh, that's why my architecture teacher told me to put windows there. Chat, go to YouTube. Like, I'm not even kidding. Resourcefulness is so crazy. If you guys feel super, super passionate about something, just try playing a YouTube video in the background instead of music. Or try playing a YouTube video, like, even right now, you might be doing something and listening to this. Try playing something that teaches you something while you're doing the thing you like. Like, say somebody's really into cooking. Play something that has to do with making something that's kind of you struggle with or you want to get better at culinary in the background. You will subconsciously absorb the information to some degree, depending on how focused you are on what you're doing. Unless, of course, you have some type of like brain processing thing where it works in a different way. Then in that case, my suggestion is just figure out what works best for you. It's hard, I know. I can't play it in the background and subconsciously gain it. Most people can. I can't. We got this, chat. We got this. I do it when my teacher's talking because I don't pay attention. And don't do that if you're failing your classes, chat. It is not a good idea. What the heck is this? I crashed my friend's British theme party. You're like, go for it, man. Go for it. And it's also important to understand, God, I'm such a grandma, bro. I looked at that stupid dog in the sweater and I went, oh my god, that's so funny. Bro, that meme has been around since like 2017. I'm fried. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're working with, okay, chat? That's pretty much what we're working with. Now, everything that I've showed you guys, I'm gonna kind of show you guys a bit more about this, a bit more, okay, well, you know what? We're not using Pinterest, I guess. It does not quite want to work. So we have a bit about how, our, what's it called? Our Tavern, that's what it's called. It's kind of laid out. All out of my ass, by the way. If we need to change it, we'll change it as we go. However, it says we're AFK, so probably we should come back. Welcome to the pro. Oh, I have a leveling reward. Hold up. Click to claim. Yeah! 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 Leveling reward. Yeah! Yeah! So let's play some Skyblock. Finally. It's been a while, okay, chat? We've come up with a oh, I thought I had 4.8 million. I lied. I'm sorry, guys. I lied. I really did. People begging me for Necron armor, and this is my freaking balance. Alright, guys, who wants 3.3 million coins? You can get that Necron armor super fast. People are gonna come in here one day, and eventually I'll be able to actually, like, you know, have the capacity to grant the wish. I'm not going to, but I'll at least be capable of it. I find it so funny when people come up in here. They're like, please, please donate me, like, the Shovel of the Void and Necron armor. I'm like, bro, what even is that? Like, what are you yapping to me about right now? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is, brother. Please spare me. I don't know. Oh, wait, hold on. I have the Infinidirt wand, and I want to use that really quick for framing the house. So let's go get some coins. Alright? If y'all are ever wondering, why should I get Hypixel Skyblock? Hypixel Skyblock is kind of fun to do whatever the heck you want, okay? Like, literally whatever the heck you want, okay? It's one of those games where you would probably be better off farming a skill and getting money, but you can get money pretty easily if you're just chill with, you know, logging in every once in a while, collecting your minions, and then just going about your day, and then eventually you log on and you're like, hey, I want to do something. Because then you'll have millions of bucks just saved up, ready for everything. Ready for everything. It'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. Alrighty, chat. So, we learned a few things today, okay? Mainly you guys, because I was I'm just kidding. The main thing that I learned today was, I don't know what I was thinking here. I don't remember when I made this, like, a few months ago. That was about when I made that other floor plan that I just said was really bad. So let's see how much I've improved. I'm not promising anything good. I understand why it's built in certain ways. Does that always correspond to how it's built? Of course not. We're just gonna do it how we see fit, okay? Okay. Now I'm trying to judge kind of how big this should be, just kind of based off of my vibes. Okay, I need a do I have a shovel? Oh, I really don't. That's unfortunate. Let's just shovel it with my dirt. I mean, with my sword. My bad. Let's see. That might, yeah, that's not a bad size. That's not a bad size. Let's just go ahead and work with this, okay? So, let's just go ahead and make this over here, chat, okay? Alright, let's just say that this is going to be just the size for now. It's already turning to grass. That is okay! That is okay! Everybody's fine, okay? I say we make the walking paths at least 2 blocks wide. So what we can do is we can have, probably chairs. Let me think about chairs. There are furniture chairs, and I'm assuming they can go under tables. So the tables could probably start here, is what I'm thinking. However, we do also want a stage. I just forgot about that. You don't want people going behind performers, because that makes people nervous every time they're performing. So we're just gonna go ahead and probably start, you know, a little something like around here. Looks pretty good. Alright, yeah, how does that look, chat? How does that look? I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. And this also gives some good place for our bar. Our bar can be kind of built into this wall over here, which honestly I'm kind of digging. Oh, I do have a promising shovel. That's good. Let me just, boop. Let me just collect that really quick. Alright, and then let's build out this side too. Now, there's an interesting thing about buildings. When you're making a building, another way to reduce your costs is by continuing walls. For example, if I had a wall here, I wouldn't be continuing the structural wall that's here. This would make it slightly, I believe slightly less stable, just because it's not like, you know, it's not continuing, but it's still, it's not too bad by any means. However, if you want to go for more of kind of like a impoverish look with your build, I suggest going for more of a boxy shape or anything, you know, more of a boxy shape. I think the landing should be about 2 by 2, so what we can do here is have something like this, although I might make it a bit closer, just like this. That's not too bad, that's not too bad. Perfect. Yeah, like that. Okay. So here's how this is going to work. This is going to be the same thing that we practically just did. The only difference is that we're just going to make sure that we have everything kind of a bit more to scale, okay? Okay, guys? We're going to make this probably, let's see. I like to also frame it a bit just to get a vibe of how tall this should be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a bit too tall. Maybe we should make it so... If this is the top, how does that feel? Oh, perfect. Okay, so let's make it this height. Okay, guys? Let's make it this height. So you don't really want to fill everything in immediately, because if you want to make, like, small changes, it can be a little bit helpful. So, let's see. This is how this is working, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to put the bar under here, okay? We're going to kind of offset it just a tiny bit, or maybe we'll have it so it's in the middle here. So if we go up here, that's just this block. So say that this is the edge of the bar right here, okay? You can have 1 or 2 more tables here, but this is the edge of the bar, okay? You can have it so it goes a bit like this. That's how the bar's gonna go. Okay, let's just outline the bar really quick. Just kind of like that. Pretty nice and simple, okay? Pretty nice and simple. Not that high. We're just gonna make that a bit lower. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I don't know how to count. Oh, I also don't know how high it should be. Whoops, my bad, guys. We're just going along with the flow. Okay, we're just going along with the flow. Y'all can see kind of the thought process in real time, but I'm gonna go through any thoughts that pop up in my brain and kind of explain them away as I go along, okay? So the main thing I'm just thinking about right now is making sure that the height is okay, as well as the frame of it looks pretty decent for what I'm wanting it to look like, okay? While I'm doing this, I'm also considering the architectural style I'm using. Now, what is an architectural style? Well, I'll tell you. An architectural style is basically the shape of a building, the types of attributes it has, and how, like, you know, it functions, it looks, stuff like that, okay? Stuff like that. So pretty much, all you gotta do in order to think is just think, okay, what are some common traits of the building the building style I'm trying to make? What do I like about it? What do I want to include in it? For example, what I want to include are some of these kind of overhanging areas. Like here, what I might do is I might kind of go up like this, and then I might have it come across like this, just kind of like framing it out. And then I have boop, 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 just like that. And then I would delete those two, and boom, it gives that kind of like, you know, overhang aspect. Now this is a bit long, so what I might do is I might cut it down, honestly, to be a bit more in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's only 5. So we're just gonna do it like that. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's cut that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. All right. Then we're doing that and see how much more interesting it becomes, and much more emphasis on this area, which is kind of where the stage is. You know, now that I think about it, we can actually center it on the stage. So actually, let's go ahead and do that instead of what I just did. So if it has, how much stuff does it have? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 8 blocks wide. So let's go ahead and make it probably either 7 or 9 blocks wide, just so we have a kind of like center for it. By the way, guys, my username is this in Minecraft is the same as my username on whichever platform you're on. So if you ever want to check out my island, you're free to. I'll just be sitting here doing my thing. Okay, chat? Okay, chat? That is what we're doing. That is what we're doing. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how that looks. This is a 7. Let's give it 2 more and see how it looks. Give it 2 more and see how it looks. I feel like I'm gonna like the 7 more. Yeah, I like the 7 more. Let's take these off. We'll see. We'll see. If we ever change our mind, we can always change your mind, chat. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind, okay? Alright, so see here. This is what we have. So this is a bit more interesting to kind of like frame in a sense, because all you do is you just kind of, you know, build it up 1 extra wall than what you usually would, and just roll with it, you know, just roll with it. And then also what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this pillar, because that was just helping me find the middle of it. So yeah, that helps kind of get that. Something that I am noticing is that it's a bit long, so what I might do is I might shorten it down to here. It's all about aesthetics and the proportion of how everything looks. It's more of an artist thing rather than everything, like aesthetics, and you know, people are like, oh, that building seems abnormally long. Like, you know, thoughts like that is what I'm thinking right now. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's not where I meant to place that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Too many to count. Too many to count. So let's give this a try, okay, chat? Let's give this a try. Let's see how this looks when we put it all together. Ooh, whoops. Alright, let's see. Nice, 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 and nice. Alrighty, alrighty. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I guess I'm also gonna just move these blocks over, because that's not exactly the best place for them to be. Yes, it is here. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, this looks, okay, yeah, this looks much more proportionate. It's all about how you look at it, and you're like, huh, does this look good? Does this look bad? It's more of an intuition thing, honestly. More than anything, it's an intuition thing, okay, chat? Okay? Alright, so this is where the stairs are gonna go, so we're just gonna put those there, and then we're also gonna put them here as well. This is going to be the top of the staircase, okay? The top of the staircase. Now, what's good about being in Minecraft rather than real life is you can actually employ Frank Lloyd Wright's methods a bit more easily. For example, you need to have wheelchair accessibility in real life. Thankfully, we don't have characters that have wheelchairs in Minecraft. Saying that because I'm just happy that, you know, everybody's kind of on the same playing field. Not meaning to say anything specific like that. Oh, I have my caps on. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I ran out of dirt. 1 second. 1 second. Ah! Hello. Taking a look around, I assume. Taking a look around. So, yeah, this is what we're working with, chat. This is what we're working with, okay? This is what we're doing right now. Oh, that's right. We also had a kitchen over here. I totally forgot about that. Honestly, what we might do is I have enough space here. We'll probably just make the stairs go up here and back around. See, this is what I mean. Things change while you're making them. You don't have to necessarily be super strict about where things are, as long as you have the main area, and then you can look at this and be like, huh, this looks good, or huh, this looks then you can change it. Then you can change it. No biggie. And I also like to take a good look from everywhere around. This area looks a little bit boring. Maybe we'll add a bit of like a what's called a bay window here. Now chat, if you don't know what a bay window is, it just juts out a little bit. Okay. The vaping ad seems to be back. Hopefully not to terrorize my computer again and make my music stop. Thankfully it did not. So glad for that though. Jeez, because it's been terrorizing me. But we survive. We survive. Alrighty. Now the main question is where to go from here, chat, okay? Where to go from here. This is the time where usually I reference something decently hard. We don't have really too much going on the second floor, so honestly we could probably keep it a bit more tame. I think I'm going to make this a bit of a smaller roof in the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build these up. Let's see how tall this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so it's really 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then put this here to signify that it's the floor. Perfect. So then it'll be like this, and this won't be filled in. This will have a roof on the very front, because that'll help kind of distinguish it. So for example, this will be a nice sharp roof right here. And then at the top, what we can have is we can have this nice kind of gable going this way, and then it can a dormer kind of or thing kind of jutting out here. That is not how you spell. I always love when people have these really interesting armor effects. They're cool. They're really cool. Hypixel Skyblock always has tons of cool things. I like how people make use of them. The typing. Let's see how fast of a typer this person is. Very fast. Good jobs. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Alright, so we're gonna just keep on making this, and I'll show you guys what kind of roof I'm talking about here in a second. A gable roof is basically your classic little triangle. Your classic little triangle. Except for this one. It's more steep. More steep. I like your builds, bro. I have a question, though. What are you wearing? Oh, yeah, in real life, this is low-key, it's like my history teacher fit, to be honest. My history teacher fit. My fit check, chat. I wore slacks earlier. I'm not British, I just say it like that. No bullying, no bullying. I have freaking workout pants, I have slippers, but y'all aren't seeing my feet. And then this is like some, it has like little ruffles and stuff. Little ruffles and stuff. Yeah, yeah. It's goated. Ow, that kind of hurt my, I can never sit on that freaking chair right. Ugh. Gosh, I'm so sore from my job. I work a very physical, intensive job, so yeah. And then I drank a protein shake in my wine glass, which, was very dusty. Not on the inside, thankfully. Not on the inside. Happy snowman. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, wait, that's super cute. What the heck? Epic skin. Epic skin. Or is that a helmet? Hold on, I bet it's a helmet. Yeah, it's a helmet. I knew that, chat. I knew that. It's quite easy to understand. I meant your mineral and bronze armor, but I also appreciate the lore. Yes. Honestly, I put it on and called it a day. Very true. Very true. Now you see, I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight the ores. That's what it is. Both interesting fits. Yes. I literally threw this on today. I'm the type who's very... Ooh, what's that skin? Hold on. Wait. No! No! I think it was Toothless or something. Or like one of those cats with like the green eyes. R.I.P. gang. That was really sad. Also, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, they really fell into the void. That's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. That's our next floor. turned into grass. I don't know how. I guess it just photosynthesized somehow with literally nothing else to give it seeds. But you know what? Life finds a way, obviously. I don't know how, but life finds a way. I should be that resilient, guys. That's how resilient we all should be, okay? On the count of 3, everybody be that resilient. The Feed Sniffer 72061. Welcome, Feed Sniffer. Why did they say that so fast? Bro's freaking. Oh wait, hold on. Let me check the skin. Oh, it's like a little cow with a crown. Like, this is so cute. What? So cute. Me too. I think the username is epic. I love people with funny usernames. So funny, bro. I love it. Keep up. Keep it up. Alright, let's see. By the time I'm through with this, this is gonna be the hot spot in this entire base, chat. This is gonna be the hot spot in this entire space. Friend request? Yeah, I bet, man. I hope they don't. I bet they have a friend limit, but honestly, first, hello, I'm currently muted and unable to. Bro, not being muted. Oh gosh, no gosh. Also, welcome to the chat, brother. I forgot to say that earlier. R.I.P. muted. R.I.P. muted. Dang, bro cursed out a kid or something wild. I've heard it. Yeah, it has to take a decent bit to get muted on this game. Oh, that's funny. I'm so sorry. I genuinely kind of find it kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. So since this is quite a decent slope, typically when you have a gable roof that's sloped, typically it's around 45 degrees. However, when you have a chalet or something that is a vaulted ceiling, aka you can, like, instead of it being a... So a vaulted ceiling is, instead of it being a flat ceiling, you can see, like, the angles on it, pretty much, which is what I have currently in the house I'm making for my client. They're steeper, typically. They're steeper, typically. Thanks you. Of course. Use welcomes. Feet sniffer. I think the bro needs some feet to sniff. I think bro needs some feet to sniff. Augur, that's all you. Don't sniff mine. Okay, yeah, bro's getting a little bit. Okay, hold on, wait, let me fix my music because sometimes it just pauses. I like this song. I like this song a lot, chat. I like this song a lot. Oh Jesus. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's just keep moving. I'm not dealing with that. How we can make this building more interesting is we can make it more interesting by making it also sloped here. So what we can do, chat, is ignore the feet sniffer that is violently chasing after us. And, we can, extend the roof a little bit. And we can, kind of do this kind of shape, okay? We can do this kind of shape, okay? This is how we're doing this. Oh, I thought he just spawned a pig. I forgot that people have pets in this game. I genuinely forgot people have pets. So this is going to be kind of the slope. Okay, the slope to our building. Happy snowing.
Happy, happy, happy. Meep, meep, beep, 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 beep. Happy, 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 happy.
Oh, my bad. I love bullying. I love just taking weapons and just... This guy's just sitting on a pig down here. Yeah, thank you, pig. These animals are always really funny. Wonder if you've ever seen... Yeah, okay, we all have pigs. Oh, mine's level 2. Mine's better than all of yours. What is that? What is, bro? Why is my pig so fast? Why is it not stopping to move? I thought the hold on, wait, why how do I get it to stop? Hold on. What the slither? What am I looking at? Hold on. Dude, bro, no, I'm literally just trying to figure out what is that, like a slither.io? Okay, bro's scared. Bro thinks I'm gonna sniff his feet. Oh, he died. Is this pig gonna follow him? Oh, yep, it did. Welcome, welcome, Rainbow Bit. Oh, hey, that's cool. I bet is your name Rain then? That's cool. That's cool. Like, love it, love it, love it. We're gonna. Okay, wait, hold on. Rainbow Bit. Yes, Rainbow Bit. Rainbow Bit, chat. Rainbow Bit. So funny. I love it, man. I love how we all just say usernames and then we just like say them. Yep. That's the person. Nice one, guys. Maybe what we should do is we should push this further back now that I think about it. Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. Okay, I just got an interesting idea. Okay, this could go really good or really bad, but if we push all of the wall on the second floor back by 1 block, it might make it more depth. And it might also make it more interesting. I'm actually really curious to see how this is going to turn out. Because again, bro, I literally, I have not built on Minecraft in a hot minute, bro. But it's so fun. It's so, what the, oh, I have a pig. I was like, what is that? It's a pig. It's a pig, chat. It's just a pig. That's all. That's all. What the? Oh, it's a rat. Running around. It's raining! Chat, what is this? What is this BS? It doesn't rain. It doesn't rain here. And it doesn't rain here. Trade request? I will let you know. I'll let it time out for once. But, I do not accept Contra unless it's something silly. Like, I don't accept coins or, like, Necron armor or anything. But just, my stupid freaking pig, bro. Oh, that is not what I meant. That is not what I meant. Happy Snowman furniture. I do take furniture. This exclusive holiday cosmetic can be placed on your. Okay, I'm curious. I'm very curious. Here, let's see. Let's see. Oh wait. We might wanna. Oh, I have the maximum amount of furniture. Let me go. Let me go delete something. Wait. Chat. Wait. I'll be right back. Let me just whoop. Yep. There we go. And then how do I get to this one? By the way, if you're wondering why it's called Kinty's Market, this is what my father looks like. And he appears on my Thursday streams. Because we do cooking streams on Thursdays. And occasionally we do Wednesday variety streams. We're doing one tomorrow. Yeah. Wow. I feel so included. Is this what it feels like not to be bullied? Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. We're still gonna wear the happy snowman. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, what is that? Is that sad snowman? Wait, hold on. Haha! I remember I can do this. Rainbow bit. Can I only do it to people who are also... No, okay, I can. Interesting. It says something else for me. It shows us something else for me, but it says they're wearing the snowman thing as well. That's fascinating. We were all happy snowmen. All of us. In the rain. We don't recount Frosty story, guys. That's unimportant right now. Very unimportant. Do I have some type of an effect right now? I feel like I just saw effect particles. Interesting. Well, disregarding that, freaking chaotic, bro. Ooh, cape. Oh, that's so pretty, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Love this. Badline profile viewer has delay. Ah, I see. Good to know. You can right click him to see what he's wearing. Oh my gosh, wait, it's never worked when I right click somebody. I'm glad that worked finally. Nice. Thank you. I can't do that. I can't do like the praying emoji I usually do to say thank you, man. I appreciate you. But you know, I just know it's there. It's there in spirit. It's like here in real life. You know, it's practically there. It's quite literally there actually in real life. So maybe, you know, that's arguably better. You know, fun fact, guys, I'm never gonna lie about my age unless, of course, you know, I need to catfish a pedophile. But I'm 18, And I'm about to graduate in 2 weeks from high school. So chat. I always like to let people know. Because I always get like a really mixed group of people. They're either like, oh yeah, I'm like 2, or like, oh yeah, I'm like out in the real world doing real things. And I'm like, interesting. Interesting how that works. Always interesting. But yeah, you guys don't have to tell me your ages, obviously. Please refrain, actually. That would be kind of preferred. But I always will let you guys know what mine is, because that's just the right thing to do, I fear. You know, the right thing to do. I do not need to do this. Why am I moving these pillars? Hold up, 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 hold up. Actually, yeah, maybe I'll do that. Yeah, that makes it feel kind of cooler. Alright, anyways, we're probably going to be covering that with wood anyway, so who cares? Let's see. So here's kind of it with 1 foot back. Honestly, I think it's better. I think it's much better. Much better than it was. We need to find the middle of this, honestly. But we could also go 1 higher, I suppose. No. Let's not. Let's just go with what we have. Let's just go with what we have. Fishing festival is concluded. There's a fishing festival? Bro, when is the building festival? Because I'm eating it up over here. I'm gonna need the fishing festival, chat. That's what I'm gonna need. I mean, the building. You know what? I give up. Close enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. What's half of 16? 8 and 9? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the middle. These are the middles. The middles of the middles. Wow. I'm so smart. Call me an English major with my grammar, guys. I'm really actually scared of never having good enough grammar, and obviously my grammar was just impeccable there. So please give me many compliments about how good it is. So, freaking, dude, after this, I'm gonna be making so many more houses on freaking Minecraft, because I got a college application that I gotta send in after I go to community college for 1 year. And you know what? They said they're looking for unique kids. I'll give them something unique to write home about. Who the heck submits a freaking portfolio full of Minecraft every day? And then I'll submit some like freaking Welcome Bloxburg to. They'll be like, what the hell is this kid on? They'll be like, get this kid out of here. We don't want this kid in our university. This kid's doing freaking Welcome to Bloxburg. No, fun fact, guys, arrogance actually gets you into a lot of things. It's actually not a bad idea to be arrogant. Sometimes, in very specific cases, okay? In very specific cases, okay? Alright, this needs to be a bit more curved. So what this actually needs to be is it needs to be steeper at the top and less steep as you go down. So let me just go ahead and go like this. Yes, there we go. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this, chat. This is a bit more easier. Oh, whoops. Actually, I need to make sure I don't fall first, though. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. I think it would be even better if we can get it even better, maybe. I feel like that's not too bad. I think I see the issue. I need to go up higher here. That helped. Let me get rid of this. That might help as well. It's going down too fast. I need to make it here, then I need to make it here. And then if I kind of cut it off here. And if it kind of cuts into the building, that's fine. I'm kind of talking to myself a bit here, but roofs are always the hardest part of any Minecraft build, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. That and furnishing. Furnishing is one of the harder parts too. Actually, I think building in Minecraft will help me a lot to become a better designer in general for architecture, mainly because it'll help me learn on how to use spaces more efficiently. Because there's so many restrictions in Minecraft, specifically with how the blocks are placed. Gotta be careful about how you place everything, chat. Gotta be careful about how you place everything, okay? Very, 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 very careful. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Now, chat. Here's what we're gonna do! Okay. Ow. Goodness gracious. My eye hurts quite a bit. Give me a second. I think it's some water soon, too, bro. The stupid pig is just sitting there like a little rat is what it's doing, and I love it. I love it. Have y'all ever wanted to have like a pet, but you know you can't have it, so you just kind of like, you know, sit there and sulk? Now, don't find me weird for this. It's not a pig at all. I don't know. I just looking at the pig just kind of made me think of it. I always wanted a pet duck. Okay, and that's, I mean, you know, it's understandable, but it is kind of curious, you know. It's kind of a, you know, why would you want a pet duck? Well, mainly because they're really fluffy. When I was a Boy Scout, because obviously I'm not anymore, I'm 18 is kind of what I said. When you turn 18, you can't be a Boy Scout anymore. But pretty much, you know, learning that, blah, 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 everything. One of my troop leaders had a farm. And I also know about the whole, like, Boy Scouts of America and the girls entering and everything. I do think it is kind of weird in general how, you know, Boy Scouts accepts the girls and Girl Scouts doesn't. But honestly, I love Girl Scouts. I appreciate them. Not for me, bro. Not for me. And it's probably just my specific experience I had in my troop. I could not get any of the freaking badges unless every single freaking other Girl Scout was there, bro. It was bad. I was like, dude, why do I have to wait for Nancy? I already know how to make a campfire. Make me make this stupid freaking campfire. I don't want to be here for as longer than I have to be. Please, just let me make it so I can get my credit and then leave. But no, Nancy couldn't be there because she had strep. So we all had to wait until Nancy got better. Then we went back out to go get the freaking campfire making badge, but then Nancy caught on fire or some stupid stuff, and freaking I couldn't get my badge. TSPMO, honestly, that type of stuff pisses me off. You know, like, why is this such a group effort when it's an individual badge, you know? Like, at this point, you should be taking my trophy and giving it to fucking Nancy, because obviously I don't deserve it if I'm just sitting here waiting for Nancy to get ready. And it's not even Nancy's fault, of course, you know. I'm just using her as an example because, you know, she kind of pissed me off. And that's not an actual person anyways. But it is really frustrating when there's, like, one person who's constantly not freaking there. And you have to wait for them for everything and everything and everything. Of course, I take that with a grain of salt. I had the privilege of, you know, having everybody who was in my troop, and they, you know, all of us were able to, you know, do the normal kid stuff. Like, I don't know, just experience, you know, a life as, you know, kids who had the privilege of just, like, you know, existing and, you know, just doing their own stuff. You know? Never had to deal with, like, anything crazy going on, like a lot of kids, unfortunately, are dealing with. But you know what? Gotta make the best of what I have, regardless of how good or bad things are. That's the way I see it. Which is why I've been watching tons of YouTube. Which is why I've been watching just about as many videos on the Hollyhock House as I can. Because I am an addict to anything regarding Frank Lloyd Wright's design process and how he thinks. Oh, there's this whole documentary I watched about freaking, like, gosh, how am I already getting back on this topic, bro? I'm a freaking addict to architecture. I swear I smoke that stuff. If I could roll up a house and smoke it, I would be unstoppable. Actually, if I got some Adderall, I really would be unstoppable. Y'all would never see what's coming, okay? The second I can get my brain to focus on any one thing for an extended period of time, y'all are so cooked. I'm so sorry. Y'all are fried. I'm outbeating everybody in every single competition, bro. It is literally over. The second I learn how to actually function, it's over for y'all. That's funny, but yeah. I'm gonna make this a bit higher just because it kind of gives me the vibe that it should be, you know. All of these blocks go up just one notch higher. Perfect. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty nice. I think I'm about to burp. Excuse me. That was kind of a lame one, but you know what? I had a really good one today, straight from the stomach, bro. Freaking my dog looked at me. That's how you know you burp well. Because I burp around my dog all the time. He never looks at me. And then that one time today that I burped, he went, And I was like, yeah, yeah, because my dog never does that again. He was very concerned. He's really silly, cute little dog. I have 2 dogs, by the way. I hope y'all, if y'all have animals and want to talk about them, go for it, because freaking, excuse me, my brother is allergic to cats, and I keep telling my parents, I'm like, guys, we should get a hypoallergenic cat, you know, it's fine if Owen can't, oh wow, I just name dropped my brother accidentally, I'm a bit tired. It's fine if my brother, he can't, you know, it's fine if my brother can't, you know, hang around a cat, we'll just get a hypoallergenic one, you know, it's fine, you know. They say no. They say no. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. Because, you know, I think everything would be solved if he just, you know, wasn't allergic. But, you know, it's okay. It's okay. I understand that having allergies isn't something you can really, you know, change. Especially since I'm allergic to dairy. Like, freaking lame allergy. Like, cheese, butter, freaking milk. Like, bro, I can't drink milk from a cow. Basically, if a cow comes up to me with anything but a hamburger, I'm fried, guys. Like, genuinely fried. I went to the allergist one time. I was like, hey, guys, I'm experiencing some bad GI issues, brain fog, itchiness, you know, hives sometimes, stuff like that. And they're like, we think it's an intolerance. It was not an intolerance because I go off of dairy for about 1 week. Go back on dairy. I almost go into some severe medical crises. It is not very good. It is not very good. Not to mention, everything in the U.S. specifically smothers everything in butter. I'm sorry, U.S. citizens who disagree with me like that, who are watching the stream. It is very true. I was eating out at Outback, and I miss their mac and cheese, bro. I miss it so freaking bad. God, I can taste it is the issue. Like, I can, like, there's cold shivers going through me just thinking about eating it, bro. That's how much of a biggie I am. But I can't have it, like, ever again. I have pills that help me with it. They don't work. They don't work anymore. Like, that's how bad it is. Freaking crazy, bro. Freaking crazy, okay? Absolutely wild. No clue why it works like that, but it does. But it does. Okay? That's just how it works. That's just how did I mess this up? Blaze time? I'm assuming that's not directed at me. Oh, I accidentally didn't do this at the right place. Hold on, let me just let me just fix my mistake here, guys. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Alright, hold on, let me just I cannot whistle! Hold on, wait. Maybe because I'm dehydrated. Probably that. Fun fact, I'm pretty sure if you have chapped lips, you aren't able to whistle as easily as before. So, make sure you unchap your lips. I hope that made great sense to everybody. I hope that made absolutely wonderful sense, because it definitely did not to me. That is for sure. That's an interesting one. My OBS studio. That's the first time it's disconnected in about 2 weeks. Oh, I just realized I have dirt in the freaking wand! Hold on. Let Grandma get back up to pace, guys. I'm trying to survive. Ah! That's not what I meant to put that. Hold up. Chat, chill. We're fine. Anybody who says otherwise, banned immediately. That's what that is. That's what that is, okay. That's what that is. The good news is it picked it up really fast. That's good. Wow, look at this chat. This is actually not too bad. Oh, wait, but there's a gigantic thing I did not frame over here. Let me just wait. Sorry, my bad. I got a little bit scared. I forgot that I had a pig for a second. I forgot that I had one of those. Yikes, brother. Yikes. Right. Okay, so wait, how this is going to work is it's actually not going to be above here. How it's going to work is, well, actually it's going to be above here. But it's also going to be above here. Ah! Alright, little guy, I'm going to need you to move. I got to place some blocks. Alright, actually it wasn't in the way. Good job, little piggy. Good job. Alright. So now what we've got to do, it kind of looks like an Enderman placed random blocks around here, but don't worry guys, it's just me not knowing how to place things with an Infinitor wand. So, we have the framing for our house, we have our pig ominously standing on that thing over there. Now chat, what do we do next? What do we do next? Okay, what do we do? I'm thinking what we're doing is we're just going to design the tavern for today, okay? We're just going to design the tavern. Honestly, I'm considering whether to have the rooms back there or the rooms up above. I think we might do the outside, but usually I like to know, kind of what I want to do first. So let me think here. We could have probably around 4 rooms. Dang! I'm yawning so much. 4 rooms here. Because the floor stops right here. That's what it is. And then we also need... We need a chimney. I didn't even realize, chat, we don't have a fireplace. We need a fireplace. So, okay, wait. Hold on. Honestly, that might be the best place for it, to be honest. I'm thinking, guys. People like fireplaces where they can feel kind of warm and, you know, kind of chill. Of course, you want them to be in the middle of an area, but when it comes to something that's a bit more commercial, that's a little bit harder. Or we could try something a little bit more interesting and have it in the middle of the building. Now, something that we could have that's kind of probably going to turn out pretty bad, but we can have it sort of off-center over here. So let's say that we have our fireplace over here. Let me see how this looks. This is a quite square fireplace. I did not mean to make it this square. Let me just, yep, okay, that works. So let's say that fireplace went all the way up. It would come out the back of the thing. It would be around centered, but it might be put off center, which might be kind of good. You either want it centered or off centered by a decent amount, so we'll see how it would look. But walking in, let's just see how the flow is. Let me just. That's not exactly. Oh, whoops. Okay, yep, yep. You know, good enough. That wouldn't actually be too bad, honestly. That wouldn't be too bad. Because it kind of separates the areas a bit. And what we can have over here is we can have more of kind of like a chill area. You know, that can be more of the social area. Over here can be the whole chill area. Alright, actually, yeah. This fireplace here might actually not be a bad idea, chat. Let's give it a go. If it's a bit too much of a bad idea, we can change it. But keep in mind, this is also going through the second floor, which means we can have what's called kind of a dual fireplace. Is it possible in real life? I mean, it could be. Is it possible in game? Heck yes, it is. So we're gonna do it, okay? We are going to do it. But we probably won't make it a double fireplace. Excuse me. We're not gonna make it a double fireplace, probably. We're probably just gonna make it, you know, whatever we have to do. Good night, Feet Sniffer 72061 if you're going to sleep. We are going to go ahead and extend these all the way up. Let's see where these land, okay, chat? Let's see where these land. We're gonna try something kind of crazy. Alrighty. This is... yeah, let's just extend these all the way up, really, all the way up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, so that's about what it looks like. That's not too bad shape. Let's just, oh, I think I went the wrong way. Well, that's quite unfortunate. No one— what was that noise? That scared the shit out of me. What was that? Hello? That scared me really bad. Like, oh my god. I assume that was probably, if it scared me, it was probably somebody following, and I really appreciate that. I don't know why it sounded so horrifying. It was like, hold on, give me a second. Jeez, I'm just gonna. My Belarusian teacher taught me this. It's called box breathing. You count to 1, 2, 3, 4. You inhale on 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Let's do a communal breath because I don't know. We're going against capitalism and going communism, I guess. Not actually. Don't take that to heart, guys. I'm a true proud American. Please, please. I love capitalism. But pretty much. Wait, I'm about to burp. Excuse me. That was a good burp. Alright, anyways. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. In. Hold.
Vaping does not help with my stress.
Hold.
But anytime I vaped, it's literally made me feel stressed. How does that help? Learn more at
My Belarusian teacher taught me that. He was like, this is the superpower that gives all the athletes their burst of energy every time they compete. The best athletes are the ones who box breathe. And you can like hold your breath up to 50 minutes if you practice it enough, and it has really good health benefits. All I could think about when he was talking to me about this was, oh my gosh, Demon Slayer breathing technique. And that's freaking brain rotted, bro. That's all I am. That's all I am. Okay? That's all I freaking am. Freaking crazy, bro. I swear. Freaking crazy. Alright, I keep forgetting I have the infinitor. And my pig kind of scared me, honestly. Move out of my way, Buckarooski. I'm just kidding. My pig's not in the way. It's not in the way of anything. It's a very good pig. Anybody who has any beef against my pig, you're going to, my prison now. It will be in the next stream. You're going to my prison, which is going to be in the next stream. In my prison. In my next stream. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Honestly, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Let's see how it looks. Let's see how it looks. I kind of like it. I think there's, you know, there could be a bit more desired. But we'll roll with it for now. We'll roll with it for now. There's not too many places we can put it. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm itching my ear really quick. Let me just... I'm just kidding. Alright, let's go ahead. So what we can do now that we have our framing, is start to kind of pick out our materials. This goes back a little bit if y'all look to the basics. We just finished our floor plan, kind of the shell of it or whatever. Tavern... design palette. I don't know if they have design palettes on here. I mean, they kind of do. I mean, not really materials, but they have color palettes. That's not too bad. The main thing is that they have tile, they have Tudor walls, they have some interesting, intricate things. Oh, chat, you know what we should do? A lot of builds that work like this, a lot of times what they do is they have, like, walls that have a lot of depth to them. So they'll have like a wall, and then they'll have blocks in front of them, specifically with the Tudor style. So what we can do is we can use this to our advantage. We're going to just go with some, let's just go with a few different things that we have, just kind of at our disposal, just like immediately, and let's just see what happens. Let's just go with the flow, chat. Honestly, I'm gonna just go ahead and find out. Sorry for all the yawning. Good lord. Yawn. That's all I do. Yes, indeed. I'm gonna put, yes, there. So, purple hardened clay. I don't think this is exactly the material I want to use. Let's see if there's any other materials. Quartz, concrete, anything like that would be preferred. But I have a feeling we're probably not going to find any of that. We're probably going to have to go buy some of it, chat. Let's go and... Oh, actually, we can use smooth sandstone. Yeah, let's use smooth sandstone. Smooth sandstone. Okay, chat? We're going to use smooth sandstone. It's smooth stampstone. Smooth sandstone. Smooth stampstone. Oh wait, am I being talking to? Dragons, I'm pretty sure they're talking to somebody else, but I'm really genuinely not sure. I am not sure. Gosh, I'm genuinely not sure. That's what happens, man. That's what happens when you're just like, huh? Alright, wait, hold up. You know what? I think this looks decent. Alright, fun fact, chat. Fun fact. Studs and walls are basically 2x8s, 2x4, whatever the heck you want to call them, 2x6. You know what? They have multiple different names to them, pretty much. But the main point to them, I'm very cold right now. Where is that blanket I had earlier? My project is about to fall. I'm going to throw it. So hopefully it shall not. It should not now. It should not now. Okay, chat? It should not. I'm elevating my feet because I can't sit normally because that's just unheard of, I guess. We're just gonna go ahead and fill this in really quick as much as we can. Oh, that's right. We have the builder's ruler. We could totally use that. Wait, hold on. Ah! I don't have my pickaxe on me. Fun fact, guys, do any of y'all play any of those fun little games like Identity 5, Cookie Run Kingdom? I used to play Genshin Impact. Roblox is a big one among my viewers, it seems. Stuff like that. Because low-key, for these, like, Variety Stream Wednesdays, I already I think based on the stream, I have an idea of what I'm going to do for tomorrow. Because every other week, which is like, you know, 1 week I'll do this, 1 week I won't do this, 1 week I'll do this, 1 week I won't do this. That's like the vibe or whatever. I do a variety stream, and all that pretty much means is that basically I don't stream Hypixel Skyblock, I stream something different. That's all you gotta know pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we'll do them every fourth. That works for me. That works for me. Alright, how does that look? Not too bad, not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yippee, yippee. Yeah, there we go. Alright, chat. Here's where the fun begins. Here's where the fun begins. We get to kind of have a little bit of experimenting with this. A little bit of... I didn't mean to put that there. But honestly... I might keep it. Let's see. Let's see what all this kind of looks like at the end if I do this like this. Yeah, I think honestly it might be smarter to leave it like that. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, I like it. I like it much better than what I had. Or what I was going to have, I suppose, is the better terminology. Tree. No! I didn't realize it would get rid of all my spruce wood. I guess that's the downside to getting a tree capitator. Huh. Interesting. I didn't realize that it would actually get rid of all of the wood at once. Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. Alright, let's see. So we're just gonna go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're about to run out of smooth sandstone. Yes, we are. How unfortunate. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, kind of like just in time, pretty much. How does that look? Honestly, I'm a little impartial to it. It's not too bad. So what I'm thinking for how this is going to work is something like this, obviously. However, I'm thinking of an interesting design kind of here, you know? Like maybe something interesting kind of like this. And so that way when I put a block up here, which will probably be something like that. It takes a long time to break it by hand. It'll look something kind of like this. You know, something kind of like that. It does look a bit bulky though, so I might change this stair to be, I don't know, maybe something a bit more like that. Let me see what all the options are real quick. I kind of like that one the most. Okay, we're going with this one. It's a very subtle difference, but people who notice it will notice it. That's the point. That's the point. You know, architecture. Architecture, yeah! Love architecture, yay! I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Ah! No! No! Don't do that. Alright, hold on. Let me switch that to my two hands, because that's a little bit annoying to have to go through it as if it's not a different layout than what I'm used to. Spruce wood slab. We're going to go and make some fences? Yes, fences. Out of our spruce wood slabs. Oh, or we have another brick fence. Now, that could work. Let's see what that's like when we place it down. However, we also have spruce wood planks, so let's go ahead and make a fence of this as well. Okay, chat. Oh, right, that's a trapdoor. Fence, 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 fence. Let me get some sticks. Let's see, let's see. Oh, that vaping ad stopped my music again. Who would have guessed? My goodness. Alright, take a look at this thing. Take a look at this thing, okay, chat? Wow, that's truly... truly... yeah, yep, anyways. That was not the proper grammar I was looking for. Alright, we've got what we need for what we need to check really quick. I would also like a wall, but you know what, that's okay, because we have priorities, chat. We have priorities. Let's get this situated out. I can also do this, though. Let me try the nether brick fence when it's not under one of these. Because it might be low-key better, but I'm not too sure. It might clash too much. You know what? We'll do a mix for now, and then whatever we think is whatever we think, okay, chat? Okay? That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Alright. Let's go ahead and hit one of these. So, since these are stone walls, what they'll do is... wait. Ooh, that is not what I wanted. Since these are stone walls, they're just gonna kind of sit there and be pretty and stuff. I kind of like the regular spruce, I'm not even gonna lie. I do think that the nether brick... Wow, that's such great grammar. The nether brick is pretty. But I do not think it works quite as well as intended. Let's see. So if we have something here, let's see that we have like, this block is already occupied. Well, I don't know, too damn man, I'm putting it there. Let's see. Let's see how this works specifically, I suppose. By the way, have y'all ever had, this is like, I know this is like so out of the blue, but have y'all ever had, like, a couple that just starts, like, making out and shit in the middle of, like, everybody and just like, really obnoxious? Because there's a couple like that at my school, and they're really freaking annoying. And every time they freaking just start smooching and touching and everything, I'm like, yuck, you know? Because that's little creepy, crawly little things over there just smooching away. Freaking disgusting, bro. I'm like, ugh. Well, you know, like the talking Ben when he goes, ugh. Like, that's me. Right then and there. Random thought I just had, like, literally just now. I'm sorry for bringing up any traumatic experiences with y'all's classmates from that. I truly am. I truly am. I know it must be very, very, very bad. Alright, let's see how this goes. This is going to be interesting to kind of see how this works. I do need this to be a bit less heavy on the top here. So why don't we go ahead and do something a bit more like this. Because then that looks a little bit too heavy, I see. We can just go ahead and get rid of these and then I'll come up with a better solution. Oh, you know what I was thinking? I remember that that one Minecraft build I was looking at earlier and I was praising really highly. They used banners. I don't think they have banners in this like game version. Yes, version. But I'm honestly gonna give it a bit of a try because I never really paid attention to if they actually do or not. So did I just see a command block? No, I'm totally seeing things. I really thought I did. Huh. That was weird. Anyways, well, we're gonna go ahead and grab some. Let's just actually see if we can buy a banner. If not, then we can just quickly try to make one. I mean, we probably need a bit more of the sandstone, anyways, or we can get a little bit of something else if we want, you know. Banner. Nope, no banner. So what we can get is a little bit of wool. I mean, I don't really want to buy a whole stack from the other guy or anything kind of crazy. So all we gotta do, if it's a 9x9 and there's 3 that's not being used, then it uses up 6 wool, or does it only use up 4? I'm just gonna go with 6 because you never really know, and it probably isn't going to happen anyway. It probably isn't going to happen. There's probably gonna be something that's like, yeah, you can't make that. Probably because of, the issues with, derogatory stuff on banners is what I was presuming it would be an issue about. That's what I'm presuming. Ballistic Wraith has given us exactly 1 white wool, and I appreciate it, honestly. Hopefully we can get more as long as we sit here and we wait for 5 million years. That way we can try. Or you know what we can also do? I see. So, the answer is no. But however, it only says crafting. Nope, someone found out how to craft them a long time ago and they crashed every lobby because of auction house. Back when top things were shown in building. Oh, I see. Interesting. So yeah, all these people are just yapping about it. I guess they're just not doing that. This seems like somebody who's doing something probably a little bit like those guys were talking about. Rouse thousands of. I'm getting a bit distracted. Anyways, well, we don't really need. You know what? Let's keep this white wool. This is now a commemorative wool for my stupidity, I guess is the good version for it. So let's just. The wool of stupidity goes in this spot of the desk, of the chair, of the table, of the chest. Yep, that's what I was meaning to say all along. It just took a little bit of time to get there. Okay, it just took a little bit of time. Just a tiny bit of time to get there. Okay. That's all. I wish it was 9:20 p.m. right now. Freaking almost midnight. Of course, you guys can tell how close it is because freaking I have to do display capture. I actually don't. I'm just in display capture right now because it's a bit easier than anything else. However, it does always increase my chances of doxing myself by about 30%, which is not very, smart. But that's okay, because I'm a happy snowman, and who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Who cares, chat? Who cares? If I get doxxed, then so be it. That was me being told I was gonna get doxxed at one point or the other. It was bound to happen anyway. Yeah. Anyways. I'm very yawn. I actually, low-key, I'm not gonna lie, chat, before I got onto the stream, I had the fattest nap. I had the biggest, sweatiest, very sweaty, actually. I think I was nightmaring. Having a nightmare. Nightmaring? What the fuck? You know what? Chat, it's okay. It's okay, everybody makes grammar mistakes. I'm just the everybody, and, you know, everybody's the other nobody, I suppose. What is this? What the, what is this? A carpentry table? Bro, why is this here? You know what? This could be interesting. Perhaps this could be used to show that this is under construction, okay, chat? This can be used to show that this is under construction. Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. Is this not a place where I can put the slab to, like, I don't know, like, just be good? I guess I can do that. I mean, that's okay. But also what I could do is I could just say, haha, and I could just do that. But it does kind of look bad to do it like that, to be honest. So I'm gonna get rid of it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit one of those, because yeah, that looks like the best, honestly. That looks like the best. Alrighty, chat. Alrighty, chat. I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good, honestly. It's not by far the best build, but it's not gonna be the worst. It's not gonna be the worst. Okay. It's not going to be the worst. Let's see. We need one more spruce. We don't have, we do have spruce logs, so let's go ahead and make some fences out of these. Undertale! I love Undertale, but it's gonna get me copyrighted!
Strengthen your hair.
Also this! I'm not strengthening my hair, but she a baddie, Loki. Oh no! Uh-oh. 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 I guess let's just go with that. Let's just go. Oh shoot. I guess we're going with this. Okay, I guess we're going with this. Alright, I guess we're going with this. Oh, I also forgot. So usually another thing you want to do when you're building is just set down your color palette and everything. Which is just kind of like a culmination of all the materials you're using. So we're currently using these. We're also going to use a bit of this later, as well as tons of this. Because for now, we're just using sandstone. But we're probably going to use some type of stone at first. Because again, we're trying to make some type of stone foundation beforehand, you know? That's the goal. I was just thinking for a second, to be honest. But freaking, you know, it's not turning out too bad. Too bad is, you know, just, you know, the process. It's not too bad, guys. It's not too bad. That's literally it. It pretty much just means, hey, everything's going according to plan right now. But freaking, I'm thinking the roof we might make out of dark prismarine, because it's kind of pretty. But honestly, we might make it out of the nether brick stairs, too, because it does look kind of fire when you put it, like, over here, you know? It looks kind of fire. So, we shall see, chat. We shall see. Notice how much better this already looks to this, though. I don't know what I was doing here. I don't even think, like, I think I framed it out a tiny bit, but then after that, I said, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Not that hard. Not that hard. Gang, it is that hard, I fear. It is quite literally that hard. Do not let them deceive you. It is difficult. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Perhaps what I could do here is I could have this come to here. And then I could have this come to here. Then I can... I don't know what my pig is doing over there. But it looks like it's having a fun time. So honestly, go on, buddy. Have fun. Have fun. Because I'll turn you to pork one day. So, you know, you might as well have fun before that happens, I guess. But you know what? Have fun. Have fun, little guy. Have fun. Have fun. R.I.P. little man. When the time comes, Bro's gonna be eaten. R.I.P. R.I.P. It's kind of sad, honestly. I say as I just continue doing exactly what I'm doing. I don't give a shit. I do not care. I'm trying to consider if honestly I kind of like just hold on, let me move Mr. Mrs. Miss whoever troublemaker out of the way. I'm trying to decide if I want just 1 stone or 2 stone. I'm kind of digging the 2 stone, to be honest. Let's give this a try, chat. Let's give this a try. Remember, building is all about trial and error and kind of experimenting what looks best. How are you going to know what looks best until you place the blocks down? You want to experiment a lot while you're in this stage so you can get the best stuff you can, okay? Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I like that better. I think it's better, and then we can add some stuff. You know? Let's see. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, honestly. And I think it looks interesting on the corner, too, where we have these meeting. I think that looks kind of fascinating. Interesting. So we're just gonna go ahead and make sure that everything's kind of set up here. Everything looks pretty good. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna add this to the color palette a bit too, but I have a feeling that this isn't gonna be used. And also the spruce wood slabs. That is not where I meant to put that. I meant to, hold on, my eye itches again. Let me just lightly scratch. Oh my gosh. Good scratch, chat. Good scratch, chat. Good scratch. Alright, I think what I might do with this is I might finish this probably in a video. I'm starting to get tons of video ideas for the summertime. I haven't had time to make videos due to my school schedule and everything because I've been taking APs and stuff. And once I have my grad cap decorated and everything figured out for my graduation, all I'm going to be doing is just working at my job at least like 4 days a week. And I don't know, just kind of, you know, really picking up everything and just kind of running with it while I can, you know? I think it's important to understand priorities, but I think it's also important to have those kind of nice summer breaks where I can, you know, kind of chill. And it'll be nice because once I'm in community college, whatever, I'll have these nice long breaks. I'll have harder work, which means I'll probably be even more of a tighter schedule. But if I really work myself through the weeds this summer, I'll have a better idea of how to make a schedule more easily and everything. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it off for here today, mainly because it's a good stopping point, as well as I think we've got quite a bit done already for this. I think this looks pretty good. It's going to look good, guys. I think it genuinely will. If I can figure out, sorry, my eye itches badly. I know this is a weird angle. If I can figure out exactly, what was I going to say? If I can just finish this is what I'm going to say. This will look sick. This will look sick, chat, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and just take a screenshot of that. And then we'll be good, okay, chat? Okay. This is the start of all of the different things we're making, okay? All of the different buildings we're gonna make. I don't know if we'll necessarily put this one in our portfolio, because it's one of the newest ones. I want to try the chisel mod, because I think that would look really good on, like, a portfolio for architecture, you know, if I could do, like, tons of, you know, creative, like, you know, rendering processes and stuff. A lot of people's portfolios are a lot of the same stuff in the terms of, you know, one specific program, usually it's residential buildings, stuff like that. So if I could provide a really unique perspective in the form of video games, Minecraft, as well as, like, the architectural design from somebody who really looks up to Frank Lloyd Wright and his mentor Sullivan, who I'll talk about probably in another stream. Be pretty good. Tomorrow I'm thinking about playing something from Steam, probably. Something from Steam is probably how it's gonna go. Let me turn off my display capture and take a look. Take a little look-see at what I have here, okay, chat? Take a little look-see. Ow. My freaking foot just fell. Let me see. We're not playing Identity 5 on a stream, chat. I don't want to get stream sniped and doxxed in one stream. I don't want to die, is the main thing. I don't want to die. Stardew Valley, I don't really know how to play that game. We have Lethal Company. We've played that before, but maybe it's Maybe we could try something a little bit newer. A little bit fresher, perhaps. I'm pretty sure I have, Phasmophobia. I'm logging into my Steam account as we speak. Hopefully trying to figure something out. Let me look at my library. Guys, we can play Final Fantasy 3. We have content warning. Portal 2. Maybe we'll play Portal 2. I've never played Portal 2 before. We have Star Wars The Old Republic. I haven't played that forever. Wow. Honestly, we might play Portal. I've never played Portal before. That might be something interesting, you know? That might be something really interesting. Could probably give that a try. Alright, chat. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? We'll probably play either Portal 2 or something. Maybe like a, you know, one of those anomaly games that everybody's playing recently. Or we might play one of those games where it's a bit more kind of, horror-esque. Because I know me playing horror games is funny. Because, I'm terrified. Thank you, guys. Alright, I'll see y'all tomorrow, okay? I'm glad for y'all for being so honest with me about enjoying, like, the learning process and everything. I think that lets me know that what I'm planning to do with my architecture stuff is a good idea. I enjoyed the little happy snowman stuff, too. I like stuff like that. Y'all have a nice night, okay? Everybody have a nice night, a nice day. I don't know why I just tried to connect a server. Bad Line Client's trying to steal my information. But pretty much, I'll see y'all.